taking the online race broadcast performance to the next level. This is the Full Velocity Network.
And the night has finally arrived, folks. Welcome to the Full Velocity Network, live tonight at the FTF Jones Cup Series. It is playoff time the next 10 weeks on a Sunday night. We're going to have all the bells and whistles of the playoffs for the FTF Jones Cup Series. We're going to crown a championship here 10 weeks from now at Homestead. But first, you got to start playoff race number one. We're here at the Chicagoland Speedway tonight. Thank you out there, everybody in YouTube land, for watching this evening. Phil Cass here, Todd Stanton and Joe Allen alongside, guys, a little behind the eight ball. So quickly, let's know what trackside for tonight's playing of the national anthem. All right, how about that? The national anthem and the command to fire engines have been given. 167 laps tonight make up the Buffalo Wild Wings 250 from Chicagoland Speedway. So without further ado, my broadcast partner, Todd Stanton, let's dive straight into tonight's starting lineup.
And tonight's starting lineup for the FTF Buffalo Wild Wings 250, starting on the pole. Driving the number 30, that's Corey Carpenter. His dancing partner to the left side. Driving the 57, that's Maverick Morrow.
Row number 2, we find the 31. That, of course, Derek Justice, and to his outside in the flying number 2, that's Tom Sylvain.
Inside row number 3, starting at 5th starting position, that's the driver number 26, that's Kevin McAdams. And outside him, driver the 14, that's Colin Keister.
Chris Wetzel roll off 7th tonight aboard the 71, and Andrew Swartz rolls off 8th and 67.
Starting in position number 9, that's car number 9, that's Brandon Lawson. Outside of him, driving the 08, that's Kyle Riley.
While a whole slew of FVN broadcasters roll off at row number 6, the 11th spot, the 74. That's our buddy Blake McCandless, and to his outside in the 20, the champ, David Shieldhouse.
Starting in unlucky position number 13, that's the driver of the number 17, that's Matt Vassar. Adam Corral in the number 33, he starts 14th.
Matt Dover roll off 15th tonight in the 92, and Justin Malello rolls off 16th in number 53.
17th to 36, Taylor Morgans. 18th to 16 Jason Justice. Green flags in the air, and we're racing with the Buffalo Wild Wings 250.
Yeah, the remainder of the field, we find Jordan Buster in the 8, John Poole the 24, Ryan Nowarki in the 37 car, Adam Roof the number 0, Arnold Columbia, Rick Johnson, Noah Carmichael, Rick Barnes, H.B. Hardy, Felipe Teixeira, Sonny Tallman, and DJ Curtis. An awesome field here tonight, guys. 29 drivers have taken the green flag, and Todd, for the first time, the field is in turn number 3.
Yeah, for the first time, the field is in turn 3. Off of turn number 4, down in the front straightaway, it's Maverick Moore going to lead lap number 1 in that number 57 machine. Corey Carpenter running in that second spot. Third right now will be the 31 of Derek Justice. Fourth, Tom Sylvain in the number 2. And fifth right now is Colin Keister.
Yeah, Colin Keister right there, as you said, in the number 14. Now, you guys can notice the guys that are marked off in the green banners on their cars. The green spoilers, whatnot, those designate the 16 drivers that are championship eligible in the FTF Chase, the round of 16, sponsored by the SMS leagues. So that they're up for the first sponsor here of round number 1, which is 3 races. Also doing some stage racing here tonight. Stage number 1, 40 laps. Stage number 2, also equal distance of 40 laps. And then 67 laps, or 87 laps rather, rounds off the distance to make up the full 167 lap, 250-mile trek here tonight at Chicago. So we'll update all the playoff standings and stuff as the weeks and night goes on. Todd, the race up for that 3rd spot, pretty hot and heavy between Derek Justice, the 31, the 2 of Tom Sylvain is there as they head toward turn 1.
Yeah, that is heating up there, and heating up for 1st and 2nd. It was there momentarily, as now the 30 of Corey Carpenter out to the lead. The 57 drops back to that 2nd spot. Now running in 2nd, 3rd right now is Derek Justice, but like you said, Sylvain all over his rear bumper, trying to look for a way around. Looks like 2 or 3 different lines here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Right now it looks like Derek Justice on the extreme top side of the Speedway. The number 2 in the middle, that is Tom Sylvain. And it looks like Colin Keister just a little bit lower in that 14 machine.
Yeah, the 14 trying to find running room to the low side of the number 2 of Tom Sylvain. Collins got the 14 down there. He's got the Amp Chevrolet to the low side. Can't find running room there from Sylvain. He'll use the power move to the outside lane. Now, something else to keep in mind tonight, guys. It's the 2nd time any of us have ever been on the airwaves, and of course the 1st with Full Velocity Network over to FTF. We'll learn all the bells and whistles and how the stuff works at FTF. But one of the things, Joe Allen, that makes this league really unique, they don't have like the normal game cautions like we would normally see. These guys do what we call a gentleman type caution. So the admins will call it out. You see the field pace around. I think what that is designed to do, and I know you've raced here a lot more than I have, it eliminates the amount of caution laps you may see, allows us to see a lot more green flag racing, and that's something we're all a fan of.
Yeah, exactly. It utilizes the ability for these guys to go out here and, do some quickie yellows if need be, get accidents reviewed rather quickly. And as I say that, I believe we have a caution out on the raceway as well. So I got to get myself to work. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yellow flag for the first time tonight. Looking like damage to the back end of the 39. So give Joe a point of reference there as I bring him into the broadcast here to say hello and just introduce what's going on. And Joe is an active driver here in the FTF Jones Cup Series for a lot of the first part of the season, but looks like issues going on around the 39 of Arnold Columbia as they head into turn number 3. Looks like he maybe just got a little bit high out of the groove, may have lost it by himself, and then carnage ensued behind him. Looks like a couple other cars may have collected themselves, but we'll give Joe here a brief minute to get that all worked out here. Apologize to all you guys out there in YouTube land. A little behind the 8 ball, a little bit rushed on the air as there was technical demons from all of us around here tonight. So just to get us up on the airwaves, I think all was smooth and ready to go. And Joe Allen's ready to go. So Joe, take it away here. First time tonight with the replay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. We're going to focus our attention here on that number 39 of Arnold Columbia. Throw this thing in slow motion replay for you guys. Looks like he comes down into turn 3 here, as you guys said. Looks like he just gets up out of the groove a little bit, actually clips the wall just a little bit as well. That upsets the rear end of that car, spins it up into the fence here in front of traffic. Looks like that 37 Ryan Naraki barely gets around him. The 0 car, I see the 93 of Rick Johnson down there. The 20, and who is that? That's Sonny Tallman. Big collision there with that 47, that white and blue number 47. We'll kick it back here to Sonny Tallman and get a better angle from him. He just comes into the wreck real late. Nowhere for him to go. Just collects Arnold Columbia and, big contact. I believe that's going to blow the motor on the 47. It's not a pit of black smoke come out of that machine. So night ending early here for Sonny Tallman. Very unfortunate accident. And very unfortunate for Arnold Columbia. He's usually one of the stronger cars out here during the evening as well, guys. So 2 cars collected here early on. There's the black smoke from that 47. But I'm going to throw it back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, it looks like also something happening with the Felipe Teixeira machine, the number 120, his car behind the wall, and looks like his night is going to be done there. So hot and heavy through the first 8 laps here, Todd. First caution flag of the night. Unfortunately, we've got some tore-up race cars. Sonny Tallman behind the wall, Teixeira's car out of the race, and as Joe said, heavy damage to the 39 of Arnold Columbia. In aerodynamics of Chicago, man, and an aero-sensitive racetrack, it looks like this place is going to be a whole lot more than one groove, but man, damage to the back end of that race car, it may be a long night for that 39.
Yeah, definitely going to be a long night for the 39. Looks like he's been on and off pit road. He's been getting repairs. Looking at the rear end of his car, it still looks quite kind of tore up, crunched in, and it looks like a compact car out there, Phil. Compact car. I'm almost thinking it looks like a Ford Focus in the back end now. Sort of compact out there, Phil, that 39. So it's going to make for a rough night, like you said.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like these guys are going to take the 1 to go signal this time around. That'll restack and repack the field up. But just to highlight you guys, we're here tonight, FTF Jones Cup Series, the SMS round of 16 here for the FTF Jones Cup playoff. And the graphic on your screen, that displays the 16 drivers in the chase. Taylor Morgan's, he's got, 39 playoff points, so he's got a 10-point buffer all ready to start over the 31 of Derek Justice. Also Kevin McAdams, Colin Keister, David Schildhouse, Chris Wetz, Maverick Morrow, Brandon Lawson, also Jason Justice, Andrew Swartz, Corey Carpenter, Matt Vassar, Blake McCandless, Matt Durr, Tom Sylvain, and Justin Malello. So 16 drivers are going to be eligible through this championship, through this first round here. 3 races, Todd, and you want to come out of the gate strong in a chase scenario. I mean, you, of course, with the playoff points this year, the new stage racing format, those playoff points are key, but you can't afford to give up one bad race at a place like Chicago. You want to start this chase off on the right foot.
Yeah, you definitely want to start this off on the right foot as these guys are getting ready to come to green flag racing here. Just waiting for the green flag to actually come out right now. It's like we said, it's a little bit different scenario for us. We're going to take some time to get used to it. These guys are locked and loaded. Leader does do the green flag here, so we're going to wait for him to say the green flag in the air. Green flag is out now as the call. Green flag in the air. These guys coming down into turn number 1. Corey Carpenter on the bottom, but Adam Kodal going to take over the lead in that number 33 Skittles machine coming down into 1.
Yeah, it looks like he used a little bit of tire strategy there on pit road to come out, maybe not come to pit road at all, and claim the race lead from Corey Carpenter. The 57 and Maverick Morrow going to fall into 3rd, but they're going to race hot and heavy for the lead there into turn 3, Todd. Carpenter, he's got that machine to the low side. He may have that preferred line if they exit turn 4.
Yeah, Carpenter dives down to the bottom in the number 30 machine, but it looks like Kodal able to hold him off there on the top group. He has help from the 57 of Maverick Morrow. Morrow also up top. He's trying to push the 33 out in front. Corey Carpenter all by his lonesome down on the bottom. 33 drifts way up the track, almost near that wall there. About a car length you could fit in between those guys. Is now he's going to be able to complete the pass, go down in front of the Corey Carpenter machine. He's going to be the lead. Here comes the 14 of Colin Keister. Look at that dive bob move down into the corner as Colin Keister makes a wholesale 2-for move there, trying to pass 2 cars, and it does not look like he's going to pay off down the front straightaway.
No, he was looking to get 2, but he may not get 1 position at all. He was 5th, moving to the inside lane, trying to make that double move around Derek Justice and Maverick Morrow. He's not able to complete the pass on Justice. He'll come back to the low side. That's side-by-side racing for 4th. They're back racing for the lead once again into turn 3.
Yeah, Carpenter back down to the bottom side. He's really working over the bottom, trying to hubsuck around the Chicagoland Speedway. Not able to pull off the passes. He drifts up the track just a little bit, almost door banging. The 33 of Adam Kodal not able to pull off the pass or complete it there. Let's see if he can complete it down into turn number 1. Again, Maverick Morrow helping him up on the top side, almost now into the middle is the 57, almost 3 wide here. But they are side by side. Will Corey Carpenter be able to complete the pass off of turn number 2? No, is the answer down the back straightaway.
And I'm thoroughly impressed to see these guys have 2 and 3 distinct lanes around the Chicagoland Speedway. Hats off to Justin Malello, Kevin McAdams, David Schildhouse, Adam Kodal, all the guys over here that put so much work in behind the scenes to make these racetracks at FTF the way they are. We're going to see some great racing over these next, 10 races. But caution flag going to be on the Speedway for the second time now, Todd. Caution flag for the second time. And I'm not sure if you get a glimpse over at the replay there as cars come slow into turn number 1 and 2, but that's going to put us back under pace speed and give us about a lap or 2. But we'll let Joe here get squared away with the replay. But I didn't see here on my end, Todd. I was looking down toward the middle part of the field. What did you see on your end? What may have brought out this caution flag?
Oh, I believe the 08 of Kyle Riley was involved. There's a few other cars. I'm trying to find it myself. As the back end is crunched up subcompact car for the 08 of Kyle Riley. But it looks like there's a couple other cars involved. But I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think it's going to be probably right around Noah Carmichael. Not 100% positive, but I know there was a car involved heavily into the wall.
All right, I believe I got the word from Joe that he's ready with the replay. So, Joe, take it away.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. We're going to focus our attention on the 08 of Kyle Riley, the 76 of Noah Carmichael, that 54 of DJ Curtis. Throw this thing in slow motion replay. That beautifully prepared pink car up on the top side there. Noah comes up in front of him there, it looks like. Just wasn't completely clear. Spins that 08 of Kyle Riley down the back straightaway right in front of the 37 of Ryan Naraki. This is back towards the end of the field, guys, racing for around 32nd position. I don't think anybody else was involved in the accident. We'll click up and see if we can catch up to Noah here. Yeah, it looks like Noah and DJ Curtis both get away scot-free, so looks like the lone guy that had trouble here was that 08 machine of Kyle Riley, so he'll get that car turned back around. I don't think he has too much damage from the looks of it. He'll go down, put 4 fresh tires on it, and we'll stack this field right back up, and we'll get these guys back under green here momentarily. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, so under caution flag for the second time, working lap number 15, the FTF Jones Cup Series. This is probably the most coveted, championship out there in the entire NASCAR Racing 2-out-3 community. Probably one of the most competitive series I've ever seen. I know I've got a couple of races under my belt this season. But, Joe, I know you're a veteran of FTF Racing. You've been around the block here a couple of times. And for the guys out there who may not just have a glimpse of just how competitive this league is, I mean, you look at the roster of drivers from top to bottom. I mean, these are names that are all synonymous with winning. You see this from top to bottom every week at FTF. Tell our viewers out there how just completely, insane these races are and, how competitive these fields are week after week. This is an awesome place to race. It is tough to win over here.
Yeah, I'll be the first to say, and I say it to really just about anybody that I talk to, regarding stuff like this. If you want to know where, the most competitive league that is still in NR 2003 is, it's right here at FTF. I mean, they come out here, for the most part, they qualify their fields with knockout qualifying sometimes. I don't think we had it tonight, but when we go to Talladega in a couple weeks, I'm sure we'll have knockout qualifying there, as well as some of the other tracks that we go to, but I consider myself an above-average sim racer, and I come here and I get my butt handed to me on any given Sunday. Guys like Derek Justice out there, Maverick Morrow, Corey Carpenter, Colin Keister, Taylor Morgans is out there, Kevin McAdams, Justin Malillo, Blake McCandless. I mean, there's the names just go on and on and on, and it's arguably one of the best leagues that's out there, if not the most competitive and the hardest league to go and run. It's a culture shock if you're used to running in your small league where you may be really good. Put yourself up against some of the best sim racers like these guys out here. It'll make you a better driver, and it's a lot of fun. If you're looking for for a challenge, I highly suggest coming over, visiting the Sim Racing Association, which is home to FTF, and check it out. It's awesome. These guys are a great group over here.
Oh, they certainly are, and I know I come over here 2 or 3 times this year, and I think the best finish I got on one of these fields was probably about a 33rd place finish, and that was a win for me on that night. So these guys top of the shelf, as far as competitive nature goes, and we're going to turn that wick back under green there, Todd. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, the green flag is back in the air. Corey Carpenter leads the charge down into the corner. Colin Keister this time on the bottom side. Number 14 machine side by side through 1 and 2. Can Colin Keister make his way to the lead for the first time here this evening? He's down the back straightaway, like I said. Door handle to door handle with a 30 of Corey Carpenter down into turn number 3. It's still side by side racing action.
Yeah, great racing there for the lead. Colin to the low side. Corey Carpenter up high. I'm just staggered there, Todd, knowing all the laps I've taken over the years at the Chicagoland Speedway. Always, notoriously a one, single lane, bottom feeder type of racetrack. But by the looks of it early on, these guys are going to be able to make moves on the outside part of the speedway. And as we get deeper and deeper into this race, that's going to make for some terrific pictures here as this night goes on.
Definitely going to make some terrific pictures. Now Corey Carpenter fends off the charges of the 14 and Colin Keister. He's got about a 2 to 3 car length advantage over that number 14 machine. But don't look now, the 14 has a mirror full of the 57 of Maverick Morrow. These guys using the shortcut, what I call the shortcut down there on the front straightaway as they drop down to the apron. It looks like it helps them out a little bit here too, Phil.
Well, they get a great run of speed. You get that extra speed getting down to that flat, but you run the risk of that guy who you may be side by side with. He may not let you back up on the racetrack. I mean, it's usually a gentleman's rule of thumb to let guys out, but you may see a lot of give and take now. But you get deeper and deeper and maybe racing for a checkered flag and playoff points here, especially in 20 laps from now when we get to the edge of stage 1. You may not see guys be as quite, forgiving there. So you run that risk if you take that shortcut, as you call it, down on the apron there. It's a short-term gain, but it could just, completely ruin your night if you don't get that break you're hoping from that guy you're racing. As that 14 time, he got awfully loose off of turn 2.
Yeah, Keister had a handful of steering wheel in there than number 14 machine, and he kept it right at the right way. And I tell you, boy, that thing was Azzy Maverick got loose down on the bottom. Maybe that's not where you want to be, as the 14 Conquistador was down on the bottom, the 57 was down on the bottom, and they just, looks like the air came off their spoiler, and they were going to go around, but they saved it. That shows you the talent, the field, the level of the field, the playing level, I should say, of the field here at FTF. These guys are fantastic racers.
Yeah, they are so mega talented out here. I mean, these things, and it's a different, rules package these guys run over here. These cars drive totally different than anything you're accustomed to do a lot of great work, with the, modifying the way these cars drive and try to make them real life date like we are here in 2017 with the Monster Energy Cup Series. These guys really, take pride in what they do over here to put on a different type of product than what we're accustomed to week after week. And I'm so excited we're going to see it over the next 10 weeks. But I'm impressed by the horsepower of our race leader in that Sunoco machine, Corey Carpenter there, Todd. Comes in tonight in the chase comfortably, 11th in the standings. Got to make up 30 points here as far as those playoff points goes, but the best way to gain playoff points is to lead laps, lead the most laps, and win these stages. And we're about 16, 17 laps away from the conclusion of stage one. You want to get maximum points. Going out there and winning these stages, that's the right thing to do. And Corey seems to have that combination at this juncture of the race anyways.
Yeah, definitely. That's what you want to do, is win those stages, get those extra points there, because they're pretty crucial to try to make up some ground there. As Taylor Morgans and those guys have a lot of playoff points that they came into this race with, so they're going to have to make up as many points as they can on the rest of the field here. And being 11th or 12th in points, you can't count them out, but it's going to be a little bit harder than in previous years using like a chase format that we used to have.
Yeah, and the new thing this year with the playoff points, the stage racing, something I don't have a lot of experience with. The limited time I did it, it was in fields a lot less, this size. I mean, very small fields of magnitude. But getting a glimpse of what that stage racing is like, I mean, you get down to the closing laps here as we're seeing a 2x2x2 battle up front for the lead. Maverick Morrow down to the inside of Corey Carpenter. So those guys going to be door handle through turn number 1 and 2. But, Joe, I know you got your hands full telling the story with the pictures, but, talking about getting toward the end of one of these stages, if you're a guy out there trying to get these playoff points, how, exciting and crazy does it get in these closing laps, with these stages by trying to gain all these playoff points? How awesome does that racing get?
Yeah, it gets tough. As I say that, we got a 3-wide battle for the lead, but it looks like, I'm not sure if Derek Justice is going to give a little bit of room. That almost turned really exciting, guys. But battling for stage points here and stages in general is really tough, because you have guys that go out there and, they try a little bit of different strategy moves, whether it be 2 tires, whether it be fuel only, or, some guys will take no tires, some guys will stay out on the racetrack. So everybody's vying for stage points, and it's even more important now that we've gotten to, the SMS round of 16 and the actual playoffs have started now. You're going to see championship contenders probably take even more risks to try and lock up as many stage points as they can, because ultimately, if you can't get out there and find a way to get yourself a win to lock yourself into the next round, you need to give yourself as much of a point buffer as possible to be able to move yourself to those next rounds. So we could see some guys who are more confident in their ability to go out there and lock in a win and secure their chances that way, and some guys who are a little more realistic with themselves, knowing that the likelihood of them getting a win probably isn't going to happen, so they're going to use strategy moves and strategy plays to put themselves into position here to lock up as many stage points as possible when we get down to the end of these things.
Yeah, that's one of those cool things to just keep an eye on here is 28 laps on the board. But, something, we talk about stage racing, Todd. In the NASCAR circuit with the, all the 3 touring series of the stage races, they throw a caution flag in between stages. Something different that FTF is doing here as far as sim racing goes with the Jones Cup Series. There's no caution flag break. So when you talk about the strategy plays, different things you do, breaking up, those points and, trying to either position yourself to win stage 1 or stage 2, that brings a whole different dynamic of strategy plays you can make.
It definitely does make a different dynamic for the different stage races. Still trying to get used to some of the stage racing and figuring it out here, even through the NASCAR community and even NASCAR 2003 and everything else that has followed suit there with what's going on in NASCAR. I'm still trying to get used to it. Still trying to get my thoughts wrapped around it, because sometimes it gets a little confusing to the average fan like me who don't watch the racing as much as he used to. But it's interesting to see some of the plays that they do and what that can be done here. here. But another incident that just happened out on the Speedway, Phil, while you guys were talking about playoffs and playoff points, is Jason Justice in that number 16 machine. He was running in that 6 spot, smoke barreling out of the 16. He's on pit road right now. The hood is up. They were trying to fix the 16, so I'm almost willing to venture that he's going to be way down on power in the number 16, but he was smoking pretty heavily out there.
Yeah, and it's going to be 4 laps down in his night, could come to a premature end, unfortunately, for that Bud Light Ford of Jason Justice. Comes in tonight, 9th in the standings, 30 points behind, our current point leader, which would be Taylor Morgan's, off the strength of, all 39 of those playoff points, which these guys are racing for here through the age of stage 1. That car certainly down on power. The guy not down on power right now is our new race leader, Todd. That Oreo machine, the 57 of Maverick Morrow, he's found his way to the front, and he's got a pretty hefty advantage here. I don't know if he's got fresher tires or what's going on, but he's pulled away to almost a full second advantage over the 30.
Yeah, Maverick Morrow indeed has pulled over to almost a full second advantage over the number 30. The 30 starting to fall back a little bit as Derek Justice all over the number 30, Corey Carpenter. Also the 26, Kevin McAdams, now into the fray. He has not been up here in the top 5 so far, but as this race keeps going on, McAdams is picking off spots one by one by one, but Kevin McAdams starting to pull up alongside the 31 on the top side of the Speedway. Power move by Kevin McAdams. He's going to 3rd.
Yeah, he's going to use the high lane to go up to 3rd. He may make a run at the 30 of Corey Carpenter. He's going to go to the low side of the turn number 3. The 26, obviously, that Doritos Chevrolet, he may be saving tires more than the guys in front of him. He's able to pick these guys apart right now. Past the 31 of Justice, now to the low side of Carpenter. He's got the inside lane, Todd. He's going to make that move work. So Kevin McAdams may be the fastest car on the racetrack. Put him P2 as an exit corner 2.
Yeah, slide up in front of the number 30 machine does Kevin McAdams. He's going to end up in that 2nd spot now. Justice down to the bottom. He's trying to get around Corey Carpenter. The number 30 machine put the number 31 to position number 3. He's around Corey Carpenter. These guys set sail for your leader.
Yeah, Maverick Morrow may be driving away, but Kevin McAdams looks to be, hooked up to this surface right now. He's run that down from 1.3 seconds to 1.1 last time around. 35 laps on the board, so 5 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Now, the rule is here, if the yellow flag comes out inside of 5 laps of the end of the stage, they'll call that stage end right there with the time of caution flag. They'll let these guys race back, and they'll award playoff points that way. So a yellow flag at this juncture, Todd, would end stage 1, which may be what Maverick Morrow is going to see, but at the look at these guys, we get a lot of green flag feel here, and you're not going to see that caution flag break if it looks the way it's going to when you get through stage 1 and start into stage 2.
Yeah, definitely going to be some kind of interesting effect out there, Phil, is these guys really running it down. We're on lap 36, 40. I believe lap number 40 would be our end of stage number 1 here. But I'm looking at another developing story on the Speedway. Look where Taylor Morgan's is, 22nd on the field. Is that some kind of strategy call? I'm not sure with the 36 Taylor Morgan's. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but we'll have to just wait and see. Maybe Joe might know.
Yeah, guys, I'm not entirely sure as far as what the strategy call with Taylor is. He may be trying to save tires, or maybe maybe that number 36 crew, they missed the setup, and Taylor's never really traditionally been a huge fan of Chicagoland. But Taylor's a guy you can't count out. He came into the playoffs as the point leader for a reason, and he's more than capable of getting himself up into position to go and potentially steal a win at the end of this thing. So I wouldn't count Taylor out just yet. He's just biding his time back there. I'm sure he'll find his way to the front as we continue to wind down and click laps off here throughout the evening.
Yeah, developing story there. I believe 36 came on pit road to put him back there. But also, Todd, the 14 of Colin Keister, he came down out of that 3rd position. He's going to take 4 tires. He's going to fall 1 lap behind our current race leader. So the question may be, these guys pitting now, the guys out there obviously probably are saving tires, looking at, getting those stage points in stage 1. But if this thing stays green, those guys who pitted now, it could be those guys in the catbird seat as we get toward lap 80 and put the cap on stage 2. So you're seeing a couple of different scenarios, running out.
Yeah, a couple different scenarios. going on out there is now we're on lap number 40 here, Phil. So this is going to end. I believe this is going to end that stage. It looks like this lap is going to end that stage. But look at McAdams, that number 26 machine. He has fought tooth and nail. He's in second, and he's closing the gap real quick. But I think he's just going to run out of time to win the stage. I believe Maverick is going to have this stage.
Yeah, as they enter turns number 3 and 4, they'll put the flag out with the little X through. That'll signify the end of stage number 1. But we're not going to throw the yellow flag. These guys at FTF, they stay under green flag conditions. So at the end of stage 1, it is going to be Maverick Morrow picking up the win in those 10 playoff points. Kevin McAdams second, the 31 of Derek Justice third, Tom Sylvain fourth, Corey Carpenter will clock in fifth here in stage 1, Matt Vassar sixth, David Schildhaus seventh, Adam Kodal eighth, Matt Durr ninth, and Blake McCandless, he's going to pick up that last playoff point there with the top 10 in stage 1. So we put the book on that. We move to stage 2 in a battle for the lead off of turn 2, Todd.
Yeah, battle for the lead as Maverick Morrow gets a little bit out of shape on the top side of the speedway. That leaves the door wide open for the 26 of Kevin McAdams. McAdams now to the lead. Now the 36 of, just looking at Taylor Morgans, he's hanging out up there, trying to stay within earshot of these leaders after taking a pit stop, like you said there, Phil. He came down onto pit road to the number 36, but he's trying to stay in earshot. But these guys putting down a blistering pace up front.
Yeah, it's one of the things, you look at now. You saw these guys, as you said, Taylor and Colin on the pit road. But I think you're going to see a feeding frenzy if guys start coming on here through the early part of stage 2. I believe our first of those comers, Todd, maybe the 31 of Derek Justice, that Baskin-Robbins Ford. He's comfortably locked into the chase, and I believe he's found his way to pit road.
Yeah, the 31 of Derek Justice, right side tires going on the number 31 Baskin-Robbins sponsored machine, and then going over to the left side tires with the 31. So the 31 of Derek Justice now down and away, 4 tires, and he's down and away.
Yeah, 4 tires and away for Derek Justice. Looking on, this end of pit road, saw a few more cars down there that may have come onto pit road. Seeing the 0 car of Alan Roof is down there. I thought I saw a couple more diving in amongst the ranks for our race leaders, but I'm trying to just go back to that. So Ryan Nowarke, he's rolling away as well. But I'm awaiting our race leaders, Maverick Morrow, Kevin McAdams, Tom Sylvain, Corey Carpenter. You got to imagine, all those guys who've yet to come to pit road. It's going to not be too long at all, Todd, before you see all those guys come on down.
Yeah, just looking at some other guys coming down. The 37 of, I believe, Naraki's down on pit road. There's a few of these guys down on pit road to get service to their cars. The 30 of Corey Carpenter down on pit road, waiting to see what the 30 of Corey Carpenter is going to do here. He's going to pull into his pit stall. Right side tires going on the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. I couldn't imagine anything less than 4 tires. 4 tires is going to be the call for the number 30 of Corey Carpenter, and he's going to be down and away, and he's going to join the tail end of the field.
He's going to join, as you said, joining the end of the field here, looking, for our other race leaders to maybe start ducking their way on. I keep looking for that 26 or the 57 to, maybe make their way on. McAdams off of turn 4. Thought I heard him burp off through the throttle there. Must just be tire wear playing a role there. I thought a Doritos Chevrolet was headed toward pit road. Noah Carmichael has found his way to pit road in the number 76. But looking like, Todd, I'm kind of stunned. I thought I would see pit road a whole lot busier than we've seen it here, but you got to imagine before another 5 or so laps, these guys can't possibly make the entire stage. I wonder how many laps these guys can actually make here toward an entire full fuel run here tonight.
Well, I'm not 100% positive how many laps they can actually run. Wow, I'm watching Kevin McAdams come through the corner. It almost looks like he's dirt tracking through the corner. The number 26 of Kevin McAdams, but he's still hanging on to the lead and doing a really good job about it. He's 1.7 down, 5.5 up above now second place running Matt Durr, the number 92.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the lights coming out the pit road. I think I seen the 57 on the pit road. I believe the 17 of Matt Vassar also on pit road. So we're starting to see that window for those race leaders open up. Maverick Morrow, the Oreo Chevrolet, going to be 4 tires here as he was up in the top 2. Left side tires are going on. Maverick Morrow work is all down the way. Fuel is in, and he's off the jack. He's gone, Todd.
Yeah, it looks like 4 tires is the call up and down pit road so far. As it looks like Kevin McAdams still out there on the speedway. One of those guys that's staying out there a little bit longer. Now back down into his pit stall. Finally, he came down pit road, I should say. Did the 26 machine. Right side tires going on the 26 of Kevin McAdams. Looks like they're going to go around to the left side. Jack underneath, up in the air. Right side, or yeah, left side tires going on the 26 of Kevin McAdams, and he's down and away.
I got on this end of pit road. Now, we thought you somebody who may have come in a little bit earlier, but, according to Joe, maybe something else would have missed there. But our point leader, Taylor Morgan's the number 36 Chevrolet, he is onto pit road now as they work lap number 49 on the board. He's got right side tires in the air now. Taylor was on the tail end of the lead lap, currently in 19th, but as our point leader, I figured, the pit stop was definitely worth warranting and highlighting. He's got left side tires on a 4-tire stop, all clean. Taylor Morgan's going to rejoin the race on the far end of pit road.
As we wait for scoring and timing to recycle its way through here at Chicagoland and the Buffalo Wild Wings 250 FTF, the chase, the SMS League's round of 16 started here this evening. Just waiting for these guys scoring and timing to loop back to see who our current race leader is. Right now it looks to be Derek Justice. I'm almost willing to bet that's going to be who it's going to be in the lead. Is the 31 of Derek Justice. Kyle O'Reilly should be running second, but that's going to be a lot of different scenarios there, Phil, because some of these guys came in a little bit earlier than others, and what's going to happen is tire strategy is going to play a key factor, determining factor of what's going to happen out there on the speedway, because as these tires get older, for these guys that have been out there a little bit longer, the guys that just pitted are going to run them down.
And if you notice a trend here, you look up to the front of the field, you find Derek Justice, your current race leader, with Kyle Riley and Colin Keister. Those guys pitted, they were the first wave of those leaders to come in there, Todd. So it goes to show the way that tire wear is, paying off over a long run. Fresh tires looks to be a short-term gain, and not sure a long-term one, but so far working out as those 3 guys, as well as Corey Carpenter, who came in kind of early as well. Those guys that came in for those 4 fresh goodies, I mean, they're out in the top 5. You find the likes of Kevin McAdams, Maverick Morrow, and Tom Sylvain. Those guys are over 8 seconds behind our current leader, currently running from 6th, 7th, and 8th, respectively. So those guys that pitted early, they've gained a lot so far there, Todd. But how much you got to lose? And the question is now, with 53 on the board, if they're racing for playoff points, can they make it the rest of the stage 30 laps on tires? I think they can, but you got to imagine at the speeds they're turning, they're going to be rim riding at the end of one of those runs.
Well, as I'm just looking through the field here, Phil, we're just going to look at like the 9, kind of a telemetry kind of ordeal with the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Lawson, last time by 30.066. Okay, Kevin McAdams, who just recently pitted, 29.510. That's how quick he is catching right now, a half a second faster than the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. So Lawson, that shows you how much worn tires beat you up on this track, as Kevin McAdams on fresh goodies and going around here at a really, really fast clip.
Oh, and it's showing what fresh tires are doing tonight. Here at the Chicagoland Speedway, Derek Justice has almost a full 2-second lead over the field. Said those guys have come in with fresher tires. Colin Keister's now found his way to second. Guy who looks to be free-falling a little bit there. The guy who pitted early on with them, but maybe losing a little bit of time, is that number 08 of Kyle Riley. He was up in the 2nd spot. He's dropped down to 4th, and he may be under attack here in about a lap or so. Kevin McAdams, those fresher tires, he just moved around the 9 of Brandon Lawson. Looks like he's going to run down the 08, so that last wave of guys on fresh tires, Todd, they're starting to march forward. Here comes McAdams. He's gobbling it down to 10 car lengths. By the time he exits this corner, it's going to be on a 3 or 4. He may have a race for 4 by the time we hit turn 1 here.
And McAdams now down to the bottom side. It looks like the 08 of Kyle Riley just up the track. Lets Kevin McAdams go by. Smart move on the 08 of Kyle Riley, just to let him go by. He knows he's way faster right now. You got to look at Kyle Riley's times, 30.873 last time by. And then you look at Brandon Lawson, he's even a little bit quicker, 30.246. But then you go to Kevin McAdams, 29.637. So Kevin McAdams on the move. Currently, your race leader is Derek Justice, but he ran a 30.221. So Justice is being ran down by the 26, and Kevin McAdams also. So McAdams on the move with those new tires. How long are they going to last before they kind of equal themselves out there, Phil?
Oh, I don't know, but these guys on older tires are just rim riding. Kyle Riley's up against the wall. Also, a couple cars up ahead of him. The 9 of Brandon Lawson, he's up in that, I would call the Harry Gant lane all the way up there. Jason Justice off the pace. He is rim riding on, older tires way off the pace, trying to stay out of the way. But you're seeing these guys, the fast guys, able to run the bottom. The guys that have run a little bit of love off of these tires, Todd, they can't keep those things glued down. And just, by way of doing so, you're seeing the likes of McAdams. He's starting to chew up the rest of the field. He's run Colin Keister down. That's going to be a race for that third spot down the backstretch.
Yeah, definitely going to be a race for that third spot. Heating up into 26, Kevin McAdams. Just as quick as you said that, Phil, he's gone. He's up into that third spot already is Kevin McAdams. He gets around Colin Keister, makes short work of him. Now starts running his way down to the number 30, Corey Carpenter. I couldn't imagine. He's only 1.2 seconds back. I don't think it's going to take that long. Before that, number 26, Kevin McAdams works his way into that second spot around the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. It's just a matter of time. He's picking and choosing his times here, Phil, and Kevin McAdams really on the move here this evening.
And the guy on the same tire strategy, the 57 of Maverick Morrow, using that same, fresh tires, he was able to make the pass on the number 9 of Brandon Lawson there, so put Maverick Morrow up to that fifth spot. He's losing a little bit of time to Kevin McAdams, who was just carving his way forward. But Joe, you just came over the whisper there with a very interesting tidbit. I want to throw it to you to make sure we get the information right. You're seeing a big-time speed discrepancy there as far as, what the high speeds are going with these guys with the different tire strategies.
Yeah, looking at my telemetry and scoring and everything, the last time by our leader Derek Justice was a speed of 176.976, so almost 177 miles an hour. Last time by Kevin McAdams, who is arguably on the freshest tires of the leaders, 181 miles an hour around this racetrack. We're talking almost a 4 mile per hour difference averaging speed around this racetrack. A lap time of a 30.5 to Derek Justice and a 30 flat to Kevin McAdams, so almost 0.5 of a second faster than these guys as he basically chews up and spits out Corey Carpenter for that second position. Now he sets his sights forward on our race leader Derek Justice, guys.
Yeah, and it's not going to be too long, Todd, before he's chewed up that whole interval, running it down from probably about 15 to 20 car lengths a straightaway. It feels like a half second a lap. That is something to shake a screw on there. But you look off of turn number 2, battle for the 4th spot, Colin Keister up high, but Maverick Morrow on those same fresh tires. He's got the low side. The 57 Oreo car, Todd, is on the prowl. He's going to find his way to that 4th spot into turn 3.
Yeah, Maverick Morrow goes into the 4th spot to number 57 as he worked his way around the number 14 to Colin Keister. Meanwhile, back up front, Kevin McAdams right there. 3 to 4 car lengths between himself and the 31 of Derek Justice coming down into turn number 1. Looks like McAdams is going to gobble him up really quick here as he catches him in a good clip. Down the back straightaway here. A car length now down the back straightaway. Is he going to be able to make the pass here down into turn number 3? McAdams down to the bottom side. Derek Justice not going to give up much of a fight. He's on those old tires. Here comes McAdams side by side off of number 4. Looks like McAdams may be able to inch him at the line there. Gonna have to wait and see what scoring and timing tells me. It looks like barely inching him there at the line, the 26 of Kevin McAdams over the 31 of Derek Justice, 0.02, Phil. Wow.
Yeah, those guys racing side by side has actually brought Corey Carpenter in the 3rd spot back into this race. So he's within a second of the leader. So if these guys start racing, which I can't imagine, what Derek has left for tires, he's going to put much of a fight in the 26. But the 30 has a little bit fresher tire, so we may see a battle for second before too long. But looking further back to the end of through the top 10, another guy who's just kind of picked his way forward, been quiet all night, kind of like a bad smell. He's going to show himself and probably not go away. And I hate to even mention him today, knowing that, his beloved Broncos beat the tar out of B&Joe's Cowboys. But the champ, David Schildhouse, has started to move his way forward there, Todd. He's got the Amazon Ford up to that 5th position. A couple of laps ago, he was running by 8th or 9th. So with the tires he has, he's able to move his way back to the field. And David Schildhouse, the charismatic one, our buddy, our broadcast partner, he's a defending FTF Jones Cup Series champion, a multiple-time winner this season, and he's a guy who knows his way to victory lane here at FTF. And, before this night is out, top 5 right now, maybe not a factor, but said as like a bad smell, Todd, creeping up a little more forward every lap.
And Shieldhouse being a champion. We had that live on DRTV towards the end of the season last year. Of course, we had their race at Homestead live on DRTV. And Shieldhouse didn't show up to the very, very end. There was a lot of costly mistakes made by a couple of the playoff drivers last year. So hopefully those guys, I believe there's a couple of them that made it back here into the playoffs this round of 16. So hopefully they're not going to make them mistakes once again. But Shieldhouse, I'm not going to no way say that he lucked into that one, because he had a bunch of skill there at Homestead to even pull off to get into that Final Four to get to Homestead. So Shieldhouse is right there. He's running in this round of 16. Look for him to come to the front here rather quickly, but he methodically picks his way up through, and he's a patient guy out there on the Speedway as he taps the wall just a little bit over there in the corner.
Yeah, he won that race, won the championship, almost a year ago at Homestead. But, those other three guys that were in that race scenario, they all made mistakes. And, as you say, sometimes better to be lucky and good, but to even put yourself in position, Joe, in a place like FTF, to even make it to the Final Four, even to make it to the chase at this rate, even to get to this 10-race playoff, that's a feat within itself. You look at the driver quality and the talent and the product these guys put on here week after week after week. It's just so astonishing to me.
Yeah, it's tough. As we've said, this is arguably the most competitive league that is still around in the NR 2003 community, that draws huge crowds and knockout qualifying almost on a weekly basis for the most part. And they have prize giveaways at the end of the year, cash payouts. The whole season was sponsored out before. I think we were a month and a half before we even kicked off at Daytona earlier this year in February, that the entire season and the entire playoff were sold out, and then they booked us for their entire 10-race schedule. So, this FTF is the real deal. It really is, and it's a lot of work to get there. It's a lot of work just to get yourself into the playoffs. And guys like Colin Keister, David Shieldhouse, Derek Justice, guys that are proven champions in other leagues that have years and years of dedicated racing to this sim, they're up at the top for a reason. And that's just some of the talent level that you see when you come here, and they make you work for it. It's not just show up and think that you can go out there on 5 minutes of practice and go out and dominate. That's not the case here. You got to put in some time and some effort to go out here and practice the setup and learn the track and learn what you can and can't do. And with them using a modified EXE here during their league races for some of the intermediate tracks, it's almost like it's basically the NASCAR low downforce package, where it eliminates that aspect of draft that the original game EXE uses, and it makes the car handle completely different from what you may be used to using with a regular EXE. So it's this league's a real deal, and you really got to put time and effort into it to be successful here.
No, you absolutely do. As we watch these guys parading around the Speedway toward turn number 3. And Todd, we have a caution flag on the Speedway. Caution flag for the third time tonight. Not sure what happened out there. See if we can't get race control's help or somebody out there. But smoke off of turn number 4. Not sure what happened, but a hell of a green flag run. And that's going to set up a short little burst here with 73 laps up on the board. Going to have like a 2 or 3 lap shootout to end stage 2. That's going to make this racing even more crazy.
Yeah, it was a difficult thing there, Phil. I tell you, the shootout's going to be amazing, but what happened there was not so amazing. And I know once Joe finds it, that's something that those two drivers did definitely not want to see, as they both made contact with the wall. Hopefully that didn't damage them a lot. I don't believe either one of those guys are in the chase, but the 54 and the 37 machine also made contact there in the corner. So tough break for DJ. I believe it's DJ Curtis in the 54 machine, I'm not 100% positive. I'll get used to these guys' name, but I think it's DJ Curtis in the 54. Tough break for him, and the number 37 machine of Ryan Naraki involved in that too. But I'm going to throw it on to Mr. Joe Allen, Joey the Jet, with that replay.
Alrighty, thank you guys. We're going to go ahead and focus our attention. Another edition of Full Velocity Rewind here. The 54 DJ Curtis, the 37 Ryan Naraki. Looks like it's just a case of one guy on older tires and a guy on newer tires. DJ Curtis up right around the top end of that lower groove here, and the 37 Ryan Naraki just rolls the center real well. Looks like DJ Curtis actually gets loose a little bit too, tries to gather himself back up. Ryan Naraki tries to give him some space, and just not enough distance to really do anything. Both of those cars slam hard into the outside wall as they spin down the racetrack here, right into traffic. Looks like that 37 gets out of the way, as I know oncoming cars. DJ Curtis tries to lock that thing down and avoid it, as we see Adam Kodal, a guy that's been running up front most of the night. He escapes around that. Ryan Naraki spins through the grass here. There's the 14 of Colin Keister, our guy that was up there running towards the top 5 as well. So both of those guys, looks like heavy damage for both of them. I think Ryan Naraki probably got the worst of the damage there. So those guys will go down there and see if they can get the majority of that repaired and put 4 fresh tires on it and get themselves back out there. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, so under the caution flag here through a really long, elongated run there. Also run under the green flag, but looking at all these guys there, Todd, they were all on different tire strategy, but everybody now going to go back on that same strategy here, as all these guys have elected to come to pit road for 4 fresh tires. It sets out a shootout to end stage 1, and then you look at stage 2 rather, then you get to stage 3, which is a longer extra distance, 87 laps. So that's one of those stages you're going to have to at least make one more pit stop during. So why not here with this caution flag? You're racing for stage points to stage 2, but you gotta set up for that last stage 2, an extra distance run to finish this thing off.
Definitely got to set yourself up for these stages. Those points are key to get there on the speedway. And now McAdams actually got back out in front of everybody after this most recent yellow flag. So we're gonna have to wait and see what kind of strategy calls these guys are gonna play behind him. Does anybody have anything for the number 26 of McAdams? In a longer green flag run, McAdams is just pulling away from these guys and doing it rather astoundingly. He's like the class of the field right now. Is Kevin McAdams?
No, he certainly is, and we'll see if we can't talk to Kevin here in a little bit. But under elongated caution flag here, where it cars 1 lap down, let's see if we can't talk to the champ. I mean, he's the defending FTF Jones Cup Series champion. It's night number 1 of the FTF chase for the Cup. Why not talk to our buddy, the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, the champ, David Schildhouse. Partner, how are you?
Hey, you guys build me up to be something that I might be on some nights, but man, I'm doing great. Good to hear you guys' voice. I feel like I've been putting on a whale of a show. I've been having a lot of fun. We're sitting here P4 right now, and it's a great night. How's things up in the booth?
We're doing fantastic. I got to ask you out there, though, is a guy that used the different tires there, up in the top 5, you got a little bit fresher tire, you were coming forward, but now a shootout to end stage number 2. How crazy is this going to be over these next couple of laps? Or how much you got in the back of your mind saving your tires for that long 87-lap run that is stage 3 to end this race?
Well, that's always the interesting juxtaposition that you're put in when you're in this situation is, do you want to try and go for the points to get the stage win, or are you thinking long term for the stage itself? For me, running here in 4th, I know Kevin's been really strong tonight. Corey's been great, and Maverick's been great. So I don't really like my chances as far as trying to abuse my stuff to get around him. If I can finish in the top 5 in the stage and keep my tires on and get him later, I think it's all about winning the race. And so that's what I'm focused on.
All right, champ, are you getting back to green? I know I got a long way to move you down there, but good luck the rest of the night. The defending champion here, race 1, you got to come out strong. You're doing good, buddy. Let's talk to you later.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully it's in victory lane.
Yeah, well, I'd hate to even think of that chance tonight after the day our
Don't
football
black cloud
team had there, Joe, that, David may end up in victory lane. You have to greet them down there, because that probably wouldn't be a good scene, and he'd probably never let us live that down now, Joe, would he?
Yeah, probably not. We're going to have to hear about that for several weeks to come, unfortunately, but, we'll take it with stride, and we'll do it with a smile on our face like we always do.
Getting ready for a green flag. Green flag is in the air. The loud pedal is down once again here for the FTF Jones Cup. Race round of 16, SMS League sponsoring the round of 16 here early on in the going. It's been all Kevin McAdams so far. Corey Carpenter has been here too in the number 30 machine, but on that long run, we've seen the cream rise to the top, and that was the 26 of Kevin McAdams. But that could change all in an instant here this evening. These guys are all pretty quick here behind him. The number 30 of Corey Carpenter running in that second spot. 3rd is David Schildhouse. Remember, last year's champion. We're going to say that an awful lot. He's going to try to double it up here at the FTF Racing Series here. So hopefully Schildhouse can be able to pull that off. That's going to be a feat in itself. He's already been a champion here at FTF. Can he make it 2 in a row?
Well, that's going to be a feat. We're going to follow here through these 10 races here. We're going to be live on the air the next 9 Sunday nights after tonight, covering all 10 races, flag to flag, of the FTF Jones Cup chase for the Cup. So, stay tuned to that, as we're going to put 79 laps on the board. So 2 to go here in stage number 2. Kevin McAdams has that lead, but Corey Carpenter, Todd, we know he's got a good short run car. He looks like to be the best challenger up there to win stage number 2. He's right there on the tire tracks. He's got a lap and a half to make it. And he was faster last lap. What do you think? He's got the run. He's right there on the tire tracks. Does he make the move there off of turn 3?
Well, Kevin McAdams, the last time by, ran his fastest lap of the race, a 2:29.448. But I'm telling you right now, Corey Carpenter ran a 29.313. Now he just ran a 29.341. So Schildhouse also in the 3-second bracket. So these guys heavily pressuring the number 26 of Kevin McAdams. They're trying to pressure him into a situation where maybe he burns off his tires here later in the going. Here comes Corey Carpenter down to the bottom side by side with the 26 of Kevin McAdams. There's going to be a drag race to the stage win here off of turn number 4. It looks like McAdams going to take down the stage win here for stage number 2.
Give the stage win to Kevin McAdams off of turn number 4. He'll win stage 2. He'll pick up those 10 playoff points. Corey Carpenter second, David Schildhouse third, Maverick Morrow fourth, Tom Sylvain brings it home fifth. 6 through 10, Jordan Buster having a great run. We're going to highlight him here through this third stage. Blake McCandless brings it home seventh, Justin Malello eighth, John Poole the third, ninth, and Matt Durr rounds out your top 10. So those 10 guys get those precious playoff points, but now you set the stage here. Final stage number 3, 87 laps in distance all the way till the end of this 167 lap race. And now we could talk about, get away from stage racing there, Todd. Do a little bit of more traditional type racing. But if this race has taught me anything, we're going to see a lot of different things play out here through these last 80 laps.
They're definitely going to see a lot of different things play out here the last 80, I believe 85 laps or so, maybe a little bit longer. But Kevin McAdams currently leading, Corey Carpenter running in that second spot. So wonder how much he abused his tires to try to get that stage win. It did the 30 of Corey Carpenter as these guys are working their way around the track. I know Schildhouse was running in that third spot in the number 20 machine. So those guys fighting tooth and nail. Kevin McAdams looking up in his rearview mirror saying goodbye. He's checking out here as now he's got 8 car lengths over the number 30 of Corey Carpenter and Schildhouse. McAdams still in command here at the Chicagoland Speedway.
And I'm looking up and down the top 10. The entire top 5 are guys locked into the chase. They're going to be racing in the next 10 races. But how about the run for the Coca-Cola Chevrolet, running in the 6th spot? The number 8 of Jordan Buster, not in the chase. It's out here racing for pride, racing for wins, racing for good finishes. Without, worrying about the playoff scenarios, Todd, having to advance, you got to think the pressure's out the window if you're a guy like Jordan Buster, and he's having a hell of a run out there in this field, out there running in 6th. And he's a guy at FTF who's competitive week in and week out, but a guy that may not be familiar to our users out there. But Jordan Buster in that 8 car, he's having a hell of a run out there.
Yeah, definitely having a really good run, having a nice battle there with the 53 of, I believe that's 53 of Justin Malello and the number 17 of Matt Vassar. Those guys were up in the fray there a little bit with Jordan Buster. Buster starting to pull away from those 2 cars, though. Oh, we got a spin in front of Buster. That's a 30 of Corey Carpenter. Oh, tough break for the number 30 of Corey Carpenter. Not sure what caused that one.
I don't know if there was contact there or the 30 just, absolutely just lost it on his own, but not sure what happened there. But, Corey was rim riding up on the outside lane, and, what's the old adage that, our buddy David says, aggressive goes around. Well, not sure there was aggression here, but, Corey rim riding off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Not sure if, he broke loose or there was contact there. Looked like, got a little bit of dirty air there. Can't speculate was there contact or not. We're going to let Joe tell that story here on the replay here. In a second we get that screened out. But, hard racing there inside the top 5. And unfortunately for Corey Carpenter, turned in the wrong direction. Corey come in, to the evening. He's currently 11th spot in the standings. So does not want to lose, precious time gain on the racetrack. He's got the benefit of a couple playoff points here tonight with these good finishes. But now he's going to be mired back in traffic here, Todd, deep in the field with a very tough crew to come through.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tough crew to come through, being mired back to the pack. But I'm going to throw it down to Mr. Joe Allen once again here. He's queued up and ready for another full velocity replay.
Yes, sir, guys. Thank you very much. We're going to focus our attention on the number 30 of Corey Carpenter, the number 20 of David Schildhouse, 2 of our championship contenders here tonight. Looks like coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like Schildhouse gets into the back bumper. That sends Corey down the hill a little bit. Tries to correct it. Comes back up. Gets back in front of him. Gets up into the wall just a little bit. ends up spinning down the racetrack. Maverick Morrow very lucky right there to avoid him. Switch this back to Corey Carpenter real quick as Corey spins that thing around up into the wall there. Don't think anybody else involved as we see two wide battles all over the racetrack. So all these guys trying to do everything they can to miss this wreck. We'll back this thing up. We'll show one more angle from TV camera number 1. Get a little bit of a different perspective here on what exactly happened. So we'll back this all the way back up to the start of the backstretch. Switch us over to camera 1. We'll slow this thing down one more time. You see Schildhouse just gets a run down the back straightaway. Looks like just a bad bump. You know, this is Chicagoland, one of those rare tracks that the back straightaway isn't a completely straight, 90 degree flat 180 back straightaway per se. It actually has a little bit of a curvature to it. So you got to be real careful when you try to get up on a guy's back bumper like that. Otherwise, you can really get him out of shape like we saw here with Corey Carpenter and David Schildhouse. So both of those guys will have to take themselves to the rear and the end of the longest line there to put new tires on it. And, for two guys that have been running up in the top 10, the top 5 all evening, this is going to be a tough battle that they're going to have trying to get their way back up to the front. It's one of those deals where, do you try to save tires to get there, or do you abuse your stuff to try to get there as fast as you can and hope that you catch a quick caution that forces everybody back down pit road? So definite championship implications happening here, guys. Back up to you in the booth.
Yeah, definitely, as we've come to coin here lately, drama and implications. Going to see plenty of those tonight, and you're seeing a lot of that at the Chicagoland Speedway here as we're, into stage number 3. We're going to see how this race pans out, in about, 75 laps from now. But, looking at the chase leaderboard coming in tonight, our point leader with the benefit of 39 stage points going to come in tonight with a 10-point buffer over the field. Then, of course, our point leader, the number 36, of Taylor Morgans. Let's see if we can't talk to Taylor. Taylor, it's Phil from Full Velocity, my friend. Give a copy.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It looks like you've had a kind of up and down kind of night. Mired one lap in the rear of the field. At this point, you being the point leader, what's your strategy here through these last 75 laps?
Oh, it's pretty simple. I just got to get back to the front. Yeah, it's been more down than up. There hadn't been any up, actually.
Well, the good news of that, my friend, a 10-point buffer there with all those playoff points. Not in the stages there tonight, but, you got a lot of time to come forward. I'm sure you will here real soon. Give that thing a good ride. I'm sorry to get you here real quick, but I know you're going back green. But good luck the rest of the night, my friend. I'm sure we'll talk to you again here soon. We got a lot of racing left to go.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Taylor Morgans didn't realize we were coming back to the one to go so quick. He was hoping to pick his brain a little bit. But Todd, back to you. I'm going to get Taylor back down squared away down there.
As green flag is in the air, the 26 of Kevin McAdams is your current race leader once again. And now second is the number 2 of Tom Salvain, the Deuce. The 17 of Matt Vassar. The fourth right now is the 8 of Jordan Buster. 9th is the 53 Justin Malolo. So Malolo running in that 5th spot. And the number 53 machine. 6th is the 57 of Maverick Morrow. 6th Carson Wentz in the number 71. Blake McCandless running in that 8th spot. 9th right now is Brandon Lawson. Now Lawson battling with McCandless there in the number 74 machine. They're side by side through the corner here. So McCandless now dropping back through the field here in that number 74 machine.
Now McCandless starting to slide back through the field, but one guy starting to slide up through the field. A guy with, a lot of experience in this sim, a guy who's won races, won championships. He's that driver of the number 17 of Matt Vassar. He's worked his way to the 3rd spot. The Fast House machine, a teammate of David Schildhouse, Todd. He is on the move up to P3, and looks like he may be a challenger here to Tom Sylvain there for second off of turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like he may be a challenger here to second place running number 2 of Tom Salvain. Vassar up on the top side of the Speedway. It looks like there's a lot of grip here this evening on the top side of the Speedway. And you can save the tires to boot. The 17 of Matt Vassar now makes a 3 wide through the corner here there momentarily. He backs out of it. Salvain was on the extreme bottom in that number 2 machine, but look at Matt Vassar. He's going to move into that second spot there momentarily. The 2 of Salvain not going away. They're still side by side. Salvain gets a tad bit loose there on the bottom. Looks like Vassar going to be in that second spot. Now mounts a challenge to the leader, the 26 of Kevin McAdams here.
As you said, the 17 of Vassar going to mount a challenge for the lead. How about the run just behind him for Justin Malello? He launched up the outside lane around Tom Sylvain. He may move that run to move around Kevin McAdams as Vassar goes to the lead. Justin Malello, Todd, going to fall on the outside, move the 53 car up to second. What a whale of a run down the backstretch.
Yeah, Justin Malello coming into that second spot, and that number 53 machine falling right there at the tire tracks of the 17 of Matt Vassar. Malello looking for the lead. He's pretty hungry here. And that number 53 machine, he's all over the rear bumper of that 17 of Matt Vassar. Not able to pull off the pass here, but he's going to the extreme high side. He's trying to mount a charge, trying to get those ponies wound up on the high side of the speedway. And that number 53 machine.
Well, we're not going to beat a dead horse here as they try to wind the ponies up, as they would say, but they hit turn number 3. Racing around for that third spot now is Jordan Buster in the number 8 is trying to come his way forward there. He's worked his way around the 26 of McAdams. That's the McAdams that was up there ahead of Buster. Those guys, flip-flop positions on me as I'm losing, all my mind through turn number 3 and 4. Now it's Tom Sylvain, the 2-car that was slipping back through the fray there. He's now fallen back to 5th. He's fallen to the clutches of Maverick Morrill at 57. Maverick back on the prowl again. Todd on the low side and moved to 57. Now back up to P5 in a turn 3.
Yeah, the 57 machine of Maverick Morrow moves up into that 5th spot. Maverick Morrow starting to come up through the field. Jordan Buster still having a really good run in that 8 machine, Phil. I'm really glad for Jordan Buster running in that 4th spot. He's having one whale of a run in that number 8 machine, but meanwhile, back up front, just looking at the race here between the 17, Matt Vassar, and the 53, Justin Malone, looks to be calmed down just a little bit. Vassar out to about a 4-car length advantage over the 53 of Justin Malone. The 26, Kevin McAdams, doing his tire saving business there. Back in that 3rd spot, he's just running right around 29.7s there in that number 26 machine. Now Jordan Buster in the middle of a battle, a heated battle there, as Maverick Morrow's caught up with that number 8 machine of Jordan Buster. Morrow looking down to the bottom side there just a little bit, trying to get around the number 8 of Jordan Buster. Not going to pressure him that much. Off of turn number 2, they're down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're down the back straightaway, single file, looking further on back here as we're waiting for Maverick to pounce on the number 8 of Jordan Buster, and it looks like he may run the bottom lane, see if he can't make the run happen. No, can't quite do so off of turn number 4, but I'm trying to float my way back to the field, and one car I see starting to come forward, through the back part of the top 10. The number 71 of Chris Wetz is starting to march up there. He was outside the top 10 about 3 or 4 laps ago. He's now worked his way up to the 8th spot. He's been following Brandon Lawson in the number 9 through. Brandon's starting to be on the march as well. He's going to, out the front windshield there. He's got the 2-car, Tom Sylvain, who's looking like struggling at this juncture, Todd, to run the low side of the racetrack. So Brandon Lawson and Chris Wentz, 2 other guys that are finding their way into the mixes next time around already. We're going to have a century mark on the board.
Yeah, going to have a century mark on the board as Justin Malello looks like he drifts up the track there in that 2nd spot. He about hit the wall. I think he flirted with the wall just a little bit to Justin Malello. So Malello now has a mirror full of that number 26 of McAdams. Looks like yellow flag going to fly out there on the speedway there, though, Phil. It's not sure what brought this one out. It looks to be the 74 of Blake McCandless. He's around. He's sitting in the middle of the track.
Never a place to be. And that's our buddy Blake out there, piling in the number 74, Huge Sen Motorsports machine. Looks like he said his machine has come to rest off of turn number 2. And, oh, man, going back and looking over this, there's a lot to show here. I'm not going to spoil what happened here, but Joe may have a little bit of Joe-isms, to him here as there was contact off of turn number 2. And, there's nothing else I want to say. Let Joe get back here and get squared away with the full velocity rewind here. I believe caution flag number 4 working the century mark here from the FTF Jones Cup Series chase race number 1, the SMS round of 16 at the Chicagoland Speedway. And Joe, this is going to be a pretty wild, complex replay to show off here. So without further ado, take it away.
Yeah, thank you guys. We're going to focus on our buddy Blake McCandless in that green number 74, the 54 DJ Curtis right behind him. Blake goes to the top of the racetrack, and I believe that's the 28 of Chris Barnes behind both of those guys. And Blake's been saving his tires pretty much the entire race here. He's found his way up towards the end of these long green flag runs, but he comes off the corner here. And I'm not sure if he gets loose, but he comes down the racetrack. Maybe he thought the 54 was going to clear him, but he makes big contact with the 54 DJ Curtis. Ends up rolling over and roof slides. We got a dual roof slide between those guys. It looks like they're ice skating together in Unisync. And now Blake tries to get back up on the wheels and starts doing a couple barrel rolls down the front straightaway. Chris Barnes has not left his frozen position on that roof. He is he's doing a nose roof slide down the front straightaway as he'll slide to a stop at the bottom. Blake took a couple tumbles there. That was a rather large and abusive wreck there, and I'm not sure if Blake just misjudged whether or not he was going to be clear or not, or maybe the the 54 machine of DJ Curtis came up the racetrack, but definite contact there between both of those guys. We'll see if maybe we can get a better camera angle here off the corner. Give me 1 second here to back this thing up. We'll back it up through the middle of 3 and 4 here. See if maybe we can get a different angle off the corner. See Blake McCandless come off the corner here, and it looks like the 54 is loose, but Blake's coming down as well. I'm not sure what Blake's intention there was. Maybe he thought he was going to be clear by the time he went down there, and that just was not the case. Costly mistake for a guy that's running for a championship. He qualified for the round of 16 here, and he's going to have some definite engine damage. He'll be pacing around with the likes of Jason Justice now, probably down multiple cylinders here as a result of that accident. So he'll have to get out there and just basically ride around for points here. Now, I don't think Blake's going to be able to recover from something like that, guys. Back up to you in the booth.
Well, using a little bit of back channel communication there, I think Todd also got the word as well. May have not been a mistake on Blake's part, Todd. It may have been our old friend the aliens that, may have taken control of Blake, and it sounds like he wasn't in control of that machine when that big catastrophe happened there.
No, definitely one of them failures to communicate there with the aliens. The aliens were awful pissed off that Blake has not spoke to them in a very long time. So they wanted to take control of his car, and he just went along for the ride there. Unfortunately, Blake McCandless still behind the wall. Hopefully he can return to racing here, as it looks like he's finally going to be able to here. But he's going to be many laps down, and he's got a heavily damaged car. A tough break for Blake McCandless. Like you said, he qualified for the round of 16. That is not the way he wanted to start this round of 16.
No, and sometimes it's better to be pissed off and pissed on, but Blake probably feels a little bit dejected right now. That car, heavy damage, going to have severe motor problems for sure. He's going to be off the pace, and as you said, he comes in, one of these 16 drivers comes in 13th, so he's got some points he's got to make up. Certainly not the way that he wants to start off, chase race number 1 here in the SMS round of 16 is, he's going to have 2 more races to try to do what he can, but, at this point, you got to think that the pressure is going to be on. And he's probably going to, almost have that, have to win one of these next 2 races, Todd. And that's certainly not a place you want to be.
Certainly, definitely not a place you want to be. As I did have a off-the-air question there for Phil, so hopefully he'll answer that for me here sooner or later. As off-the-air communication is usually wild. As green flag back in the air, these guys put the loud pedal down once again, and look who's in the lead again. The 26 of Kevin McAdams. That's no surprise. Like I said, he's been the strong guy all evening long. The 17 of Matt Vassar running in that second spot. Third is Justin Malello. Remember, Malello was starting to fade there a little bit on them older tires, but they actually got to go down pit road. They had Jordan Buster still hanging on the 4th, Phil. You mentioned him out there. He's still doing a fantastic job there in that 4th spot. 5th is the 57 of Maverick Morrow. 6th is Tom Sylvain there momentarily, and I think yellow flag is out once again. Not sure what brought that yellow flag out. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm not sure. We'll have to look and see what's going on there, Phil.
Yeah, I'm glad Joe has more cameras at his disposal than I do, because I'm trying to come back, just do the replay and even try to give him even a point of reference where to go. And I have no direction. What looks like something around the 33 of Adam Cotto may have what happened there, Joe. So I'll let you go back and, get that squared away. Not sure if there was a contact wreck or somebody blew or what happened there, but we'll have to see. Sounds like, the unofficial word, maybe contact out there. So let Joe get squared away with a little rewind here on Full Velocity and, show us what happened. Joe, contact out there with the 33 of Adam Cotto. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, guys. We're going to focus on that black and white Skittles machine of Adam Cotto on the 33 and another chase contender, the 31 of Derek Justice. 92 of Matt Durr, I think, was able to escape. See, Derek gets a run here through the middle, puts Adam Cotto 3 wide with the 92 of Matt Durr. And I'm not sure if Adam gets loose on the bottom here. We're going to take a look as they come off the corner. Lots of room down there. Adam looks like he's fine. Maybe a little bit loose, chases it up the hill just a little bit, and just collects Derek in the left rear quarter panel there. Derek spins down through the inside here. Looks like he locks it up a little bit, hits the gas again to keep it straight. And no contact with the wall, I don't think, for Derek as he starts to spin through the grass a little bit more. And I think he's going to be able to keep it down there, guys. So no contact with any walls or anything for Derek Justice. Very fortunate for him. That could have turned into something very deadly for him and very costly for his championship hopes. But he'll have to go back down pit road here, put 4 fresh tires on that thing, get her spun back around, and see if he can make up for some lost time now as a result of that contact with the 33 of Adam Cotto. Back up to you guys in the booth.
And we'll have to see if there's any damage to the 33 out there of Adam Kodal, but not sure damage or not, but it's going to put these guys in a precarious situation now. 105 laps on the board, and a little bit of caution here. 2 caution flags for the last 15 laps, so these guys haven't put an awful lot of heat cycles on the tires there, Todd, and I think that's why you're seeing the likes of McAdams and Vassar and all those guys up front. They've elected to stay out this time around, and I don't think that's a bad play whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely not a bad play out there whatsoever. I believe they did stay out there. The 26 Kevin McAdams and all those guys. They did not have the heat cycles on there because that was an initial yellow flag that just came right out rather quickly. And Kevin McAdams going to inherit the lead. And then somebody claimed that, so we're going to go back to green flag racing quicker than normal here. So these guys are already restacking and repacking this field here. They're double file up front and double file throughout the field as these guys get ready. I believe this is the 1 to go signal here. We're going to go back to green flag racing here very soon as they come down into 1.
Yeah, they come down into turn 1. I believe 1 to go has been given. So let's see if we're past the halfway mark. Let's see if we can't do a quick full field rundown, and maybe as the green flag starts to drop, Todd, maybe our full velocity picks here tonight. So we'll have to see, who we're going to take here through the last half of this race. But Kevin McAdams, your current race leader. Matt Vassar is second. Justin Malello third. Jordan Buster is currently fourth, and Maverick Morrow is your 5th place contender. 6 through 10, we find Tom Sylvain, Brandon Lawson, Colin Keister, Chris Wetz, and Matt Durr is your current top 10. Taylor Morgans is rebounded to 11th. 12th, we find David Schildhaus, Corey Carpenter 13th, John Poole the third is 14th, and Kyle Riley is 15th, DJ Curtis 16th, Noah Carmichael 17th, Derek Justice mired back deep in 18th, Adam Kodal is 19th, and Andrew Swartz, one of our chase drivers, he's mired back deep in the field. He's currently 20th. On the lead lap, a 28 of Chris Barnes is 21st. Blake McCandless is 22nd, 1 lap down. Rick Johnson 23rd. Adam Roof 24th, Ryan Araki is 25th, and Jason Justice 7 laps down the final car on the Speedway in 26th. 3 cars out of the event, Arnold Columbia, Sonny Tallman, and Felipe Teixeira. Those guys were out early on in the first 10 laps. That is your full field rundown, sponsored by your friends at the Full Velocity Network. Find us now at our website, fullvelocitynetwork.com, and book your date now. And talk about bookings here, Todd. Solid full through the next 9 weeks on a Sunday night here with FTF and this Jones Cup FTF series here. The Buffalo Wild Wings 250. It is back under green flag racing.
Yeah, back under green flag racing as we're on lap 108 of 167 as Kevin McAdams assumes the lead once again. Here comes Matt Vassar way down on the bottom side. He gets a little tail happy, slap happy, and the number 17 machine down on the bottom, and almost looked like he was going to go around, but he actually saved it there. So now he goes back to the top side. That bottom groove looks a little bit slippery down on the bottom there. It almost looks like maybe somebody put a little bit of soap. Slippy. So the 17 Matt Vassar went to the high side. That's where all the grip is. He won around the 26 Kevin McAdams.
It's Slippy A off of turn number 2 is how we put Matt Vassar up to the race lead. Kevin McAdams has dropped back to second. Malello there in that 3rd spot. Race on the Speedway again looks to be for that 4th spot. Jordan Buster the outside lane. Maverick Morrow, he keeps peeking that blue and white Oreo machine down to the low side, trying to find running room around the 8 car. Looks like he's got that great run going into the corner, but using the outside lane, the 8 car of Jordan Buster able to keep that momentum on the outside lane. Looks like, well, that's all our fast cars right now, Todd. They're all glued to the outside of the racetrack. Low side, it's usually where you want to be to pass, but looks like all over the battle is the racetrack. Outside lane is the place to be at this juncture.
Yeah, definitely outside lane where you want to be at the Chicagoland Speedway here this evening. Like I said, it's a little bit slippery down on the bottom side here, especially on the older tires. Even on new tires, it's been pretty slippery all night for these drivers. So you see a lot of them, they're running up next to the wall. Looks like you're able to save the tires up next to the wall. And it's almost like dirt track in there down on the bottom there, Phil. Kind of in my realm, but this is asphalt. It's not brown.
It's not brown, and I don't think they're supposed to be slideways, but they're certainly going to push the cushion up on the outside lane here. 111 laps up on the board, so down to the last, 1/3 of this race as they hit turn number 1. Matt Vassar, a guy, hasn't really asserted himself as one of those front contenders. to the middle stages of this race, but he's pulled out to about good 8 or 10 car lengths down the backstretch. But the great race on the racetrack looks to be once again for that 4th spot, as it has been. It seems like for the past 30 laps, the 8 car of Buster on the outside, Maverick Morrow in the 8. Maverick is determined, Todd, to make something happen there. Hasn't quite done so yet, but you got to give him all the credit in the world. He keeps on trying.
Yeah, they've been kind of playing the two-step back there with the 57 and the number 8 machine of Jordan Buster. One person wants it, and he goes down to the bottom side. And it almost looks like a dance out there between the 57 and the number 8 right now. Jordan Buster has been able to come up on top of the dance here as he's still running that 4th spot. He's got that preferred groove up on the top side of the speedway. It is really, really hard to pass on the bottom. Maverick Morrill's tried time in and time out with that number 57 machine. Not able to pull it off as the 8 comes down to the bottom and uses that what I call the shortcut, the apron of the speedway here on the front straightaway. Looked like Morrow was going to be able to have a run up top, not able to do so. Jordan Buster closes the door once again.
Sure does, closes the door once again. I'm starting to just kind of parade my way back through the back half of the top 10, looking for battles all over the racetrack. But everybody, as I said, is glued to the outside lane. Looking like the best race I'm finding through the back half of the top 10. Looks to be around for that 9th position. Good race going on between Derek Justice with the number 31 Baskin Robbins Ford and David Schildhaus with the number 20. All glued to the outside lane. That's going to bring Taylor Morgans. We talked to Taylor here. He's been outside the top 10 all night long, but Taylor Morgan's, Todd, we know he's got a fast hot rod. We know he's a guy who knows his way to the front of these things, and he comes in as a point leader tonight. You got to assume he's going to find his way into the top 10 before too long.
Yeah, he's definitely got to find his way to the top 10 before long, but he's got the stout number 20 machine of David Schildhaus up there. He's also came from the back, so I'm sure those guys have been following each other all the way through the field, trying to make up these positions and trying to get somewhere. And these guys, like last time we reported on Taylor Morgans, he was back in the low 20s to mid 20s there, Phil. And Morgan's making his way up through. He's just doing what he's got to do. Hang on and stay ahead of some of these points getters. Like you said, he was the points leader coming into this, and Taylor Morgan's doing a fantastic job right there in that 11th position.
Yeah, he certainly is. Just trying to make the most out of this night. We talked to him a little while ago. I asked, has it been an up and down night? He has said it has been all down. So if it's been all down, there's only one way to go, and that is up. And the 36 has rebounded nicely back, currently in the 11th spot, but looking back to the front of this field, that battle for 4th just has not gone away. The 57 Amaro keeps trying to peek to the inside lane. Looks to be kind of quiet up there now, but he just keeps on trying. But all chasing Matt Master at this juncture. And, maybe these guys start thinking about, Todd, but 118 laps on the board. You think they stretch it out? They'll probably make it on one more and, hopefully green flag round of pit stops here. How much do you think that starts to enter in the back of your mind? You start counting this race down backwards at this point of the race, approaching lap number 120.
Well, being a retired driver, and there's reasons why I'm retired from NASCAR 2003. I just don't have it anymore. But we're looking at some of the different strategies here and looking to see what's going to go on and trying to figure out what kind of strategy you're going to pull. I mean, I wouldn't take 2 tires in this juncture. I would take 4 tires every single time. I'd take all the fuel I could, because these drivers are just the top of the line drivers in the NASCAR 2003 community, in my opinion. There is a lot more top of the line drivers out there. I'd like to see them come and join FTF here and race with them and see how they stack up, because I'm telling you right now, when you're top of your league and you come here, and Joe knows from personal experience how hard it is to even win a race, even so less finish in the top 5 or top 10 of this series. It is really extremely hard.
Yeah, we talk about, how hard it is to run here at FTF, thinking about these guys start playing backwards and reverse. I'll pose the same question to Joe as Todd, a retired driver, a has-been in this community, a guy who's not going to win races no more, so he just all gives up. But, Joe, you're definitely still relevant. You still win races. At what point in this race right now do you start playing, this race in reverse, and you'll start thinking about making that final pit stop?
I think it's going to come down towards your pit window. I'm not sure if these guys will be able to. It's going to be real close if they can make it on one more stop or not. But even so, with the way we've seen tire wear fall off, and we saw it earlier in the race when we had our green flag pit stops, how much of a difference tire wear was on guys who maybe had pitted 10 laps sooner than guys that had just come in and come off a pit road. you're going to try to put yourself in position to go out there and win this race, but at the same time, you don't want to lose too much ground out there, and that's something that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. Who in our top 16 in points that are qualified for this championship are going to take a risk to try and get themselves a win and lock themselves into the next round? Who's going to play it safe and take 4 tires and bet on, the better tires, putting them in position to maybe go get a win that way? So there's going to be a lot of differing strategies, and I think at this point in the race, as we've completed 122 laps, you're really looking to put yourself up into the top 10 at this point now, preparing for those final pit stops, and hoping that whether it's under green or you're far enough up into the field that if it's under caution, you don't have a lot of ground that you have to make up, on your pit stop, on pit road and off pit road.
And those sounds right there are those of a relevant racer still out there in this community, active and doing a fabulous job at the controls for us here on Full Velocity. And then there's our buddy, the Jet, Joe Allen, down there in the control booth doing an awesome job. Flawless night as usual. And Todd Stanton alongside me tonight. My name is Phil Lacasse. And Todd, that's what a real race car driver at this rate who still goes out there and kicks some tail sounds like. It almost makes you envious at this rate, doesn't it?
Nope, it does not make me envious. I find myself a little bit better on the dirt track scenario and like to enjoy the dirt tracks. But as Joe is screaming, thinks he's better on dirt. Just give us some time, Joe, and it'll be a different story. But we're gonna see some of this. We are on asphalt, and I won't be surprised to admit that most of these guys do kick my rear on this asphalt anymore. In the early seasons, I was halfway decent. Now I'm not what I was. But I don't have the time to spend either. But I enjoy my broadcasting out there and watching these guys race and have these guys go around and put on a good show. And that's what it's all about, Phil, is the great show that these guys put on, the drivers. Still loving the sport. I still love the sport. I still want to do as much as I can for this sport.
Yeah, I enjoy the heck out of it as well. These guys are putting on a great race at FTF tonight here. Race number 1 for the FTF Jones Cup SMS. Round of 12 here for the FTF Jones Cup Series playoffs there. But looks like there was issues on the racetrack for the 71 of Chris Wetz. He was up near the top 10. He had a little bit of a solo spin. He went around. He has now lost, going to lose the precious track position, almost 1 lap down to the rears. But Todd, Joe just made the mention off the back channel saying he's better than you at dirt as well. Something else he's also better than you at. That's making picks here on Full Velocity. We're getting down to these last 40 laps. A lot of racing left to come, but I don't think there's any better time than now, Todd, to make our Full Velocity predictions tonight. So what do you think? Who is going to win?
Who's going to win? Am I going to get first pick here this evening? I think I should. I think Joe won last night with his pick. So, I'm going to go down through this list and I'm going to look. And I tell you what, I'm going to go with a guy that's been dominant. And he's currently running second. So did I get first pick? I'm going with Kevin McAdams.
Good pick. I'm not sure who's up next in line, but I'll go next because Joe, our buddy, he picked the right one last night at SMO. So I'll take the next one up. You take McAdams. It's a great pick. I'm gonna go a little less bold, but just knowing the big race field we have here tonight and thinking about it and looking, who the fast race cars may be, I'm going to go on a limb here. It's not going to be a popular pick, but I'm going to think the 31 of Derek Just is going to go to victory lane. Currently 5th. I think he may have what's just right to maybe find his way around Chicago. No, he's fast here. We know he won at Chicago last night when he was out there running in a cup car. So I think he's going to have the right stuff tonight. So I got Justice. You got McAdams. Who do you got, Joe?
Well, I'm looking, up and down the top 10 here. Part of me wants to take the champ, David Schildhouse. Usually finds himself, up towards the front towards the end of these things. And, Kevin McAdams is obviously a solid choice with the dominant performance he's had tonight. But someone that's really surged to life during this final stage here of the event is that number 17 of Matt Vassar. And I think Matt Vassar is a very safe pick to go out there and potentially win this thing, especially with how pit stops have fallen. He's gotten out there. He's had a really fast short run car. We see Kevin McAdams starting to reel him back down now. But, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take that number 17 of Matt Vassar to go out there and win this first race of 10 here to come over the next couple of weeks.
All right, well, I like those picks. Now I'm going to ask you guys out there watching in the YouTube chat box, who do you got tonight? we've made our picks. Joe taking Matt Vassar, I'm taking Derek Justice, and Todd taking Kevin McAdams. So I want to know how you're feeling out there. Who's it going to be to win this Buffalo Wild Wings 250 here tonight? 132 laps on the board, so 35 laps here to go. Matt Vassar is your current race leader. Kevin McAdams, as Joe said, starting to reel him in a little bit. Justin Malello currently third, 2.2 seconds back, but he's got a miracle, Todd. Up to 31 of Derek Justice. He's inside there. Side-by-side battle for third down the front straightaway.
Looking through here side by side for that third place battle there, Phil, and I'm trying to catch up with it here, going through the field as I'm looking down through the YouTube chat box, trying to see what was going on. As looks like Derek Justice is going to be able to clear the number 53 of Justin Malello. Looks like the number 31 now moving into that third spot. Is yellow flag going to fly?
Yellow flag on the Speedway, just as we saw a tremendous save by the 17 of Matt Vassar. What a terrific save he made there. You know, down through the grass, did not loop that car, lost the race lead, but able to maintain control. But a couple of guys, Todd, not able to maintain control, as I'm seeing guys down there, you know, off of turn 4. Somebody got loose. Somebody went cutting the grass and come back up across the racetrack. So that's going to put us on a caution flag again, looking like issues around the 24 of John Poole III. Also looks like the 193 of Rick Johnson may have got a piece of this as well. So caution flags on the Speedway. It's been an awesome race here, and you know, going to have a little less than 30 laps to go. We're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned Saturday night shootout here at FTF, and that's always a fun time.
Yeah, definitely going to be a fun time, a shootout here at FTF, almost like a Saturday night feel, but it's going to be a Sunday night feel. But I hear that Joe Allen is ready with the replay already. These guys going down to make pit stops. Joe, take it away. What happened?
Thank you, guys. We're going to focus our attention on the 24 of John Poole. He's going through turns 3 and 4 here in that number 24 machine. Looks like he just gets loose off the corner running that bottom line. It's been treacherous all night. The 93 of Rick Johnson, the 76 of Noah Carmichael are close behind. John comes down through the grass here, gets it collected back up. Don't know if he gets loose trying to come back up onto the racetrack or he just keeps his foot in it. And instead of staying on the bottom here and letting the faster cars come up, he cuts across right in front of him. Nowhere for Rick Johnson and Noah Carmichael to go. Those two make contact behind John Poole. And I don't think Rick hits anything. I think he saves it right here down on the bottom, which is very thankful for him that he doesn't spin that thing back up into traffic and collect even more damage for himself. So a very nice job to keep that car off the wall by the 93 of Rick Johnson. Unfortunate, just wrong place, wrong time. They probably thought the 24 was going to keep himself down there out of harm's way, but he came and cut right across the front stretch there in front of those two guys. And they ended up getting into one another trying to avoid that slower car, and that's what brought out our most recent caution here tonight. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, certainly did. You know, tough break for those guys there as they were having a terrific run. You know, Rick Johnson, you know, was out there having a good run in the 193. Also the 24 of John Poole III. He was up in the top 10, you know, a lot of this night. So tough break for him. Hopefully not too much damage to those race cars, but they'll come back in. They'll get 4 tires. They'll get back in the right direction. But looking, you know, at the, you know, the leaderboard, Todd, Kevin McAdams, our race leader, he just come back onto pit road. So is this one of those deals where they may be close on maybe a little bit of fuel strategy from here? These guys going to be cutting it close, you think? What is that, 35 laps to go? About a little over 30 laps to go? I think I've lost Todd there. We'll try to get Todd back with us there in a minute. He's got some stuff going on there behind the scenes he's working with, so we'll just take it and carry on there. But looking on and off pit road, but Joe, I think you're in car, you know, with the 31 of Derek Justice, and I believe you hear these guys may be out there saving a little tad bit of fuel, and that may be a money play right now later on in this going. You know, these guys hoping they've come to pit road for the last time, and you know, the usual rule of thumb is to save fuel, but do you think these guys are really that close to the edge of the pit window? I thought they'd make it easily from here.
You know, it might be pretty close. I was talking with Race Control earlier, and they estimated that their fuel window was anywhere from 31 to 33 laps was probably the realistic setting. So, you know, with that, we're looking at maybe 30 laps to go when we go back green, and that doesn't factor in green flag racing. There's a lot of different scenarios that go into this, so it could be very, very close for these guys. As you see, we're riding along here with the number 31 Baskin-Robbins machine of Derek Justice, and you can hear them actively utilizing the clutch there, saving as much fuel as they can. So these guys are probably close, and they just want to make sure in case they have to go into overtime. They do have a scenario where when you get inside 2 laps to go, they do call it the point of no return, and these guys could actually race up to a lap after the scheduled distance, after the checkered flag here, to set the finishing order if it came down to it. So these guys making sure they have just enough fuel in the tank for any scenario that can potentially come up here towards the end of this thing with about 30 laps to go, guys.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot here left of the site for you. Believing they may have come to 1 to go, as I've been just trying to scroll down back through here and get some of the stories of what's going on. But you know, we see the field. These guys have come on and off pit road. The 31 of Derek Justice going to be your current race leader, I believe. Yes, he is the field in the backstretch turn number 3. Not sure we've got the 1 to go here or not. Just trying to get that. Maybe a quick word from race control here as we try to work our match behind the scenes. Trying to get Todd Stanton back with us. I know he's going through something here behind the scenes. May have lost him on the back end, so we'll see if we can't get him back up and running and get him back on a part of the call. What I think may be going on here, that last caution flag may be under review, so that may be the reason for an elongated yellow here, is I don't believe we're 1 to go on the field. So just trying to work the magic behind the scenes here. We got a couple of seconds. We'll do a little bit of selfless promoting here, self-promoting, if you will. The home base of the Full Velocity Network, fullvelocitynetwork.com. Everybody out there, book your dates now. Dates are filling up fast here. I think all you leagues out there will be really, really pleased with the results. You're going to get the rates we have when we'd love to come out and showcase the great racing you got going on. If it's NR 2003, iRacing, or anything else that may be out there, I think you guys all love the product you're seeing here tonight. And thank you guys out there for watching. FullVelocityNetwork.com. Spread the word as we're back to green flag racing. Kevin McAdams restarted with the lead over Derek Justice. Those guys going to be currently single file. Off of turn number 2, we have or turn 4 rather, Justin Malello racing with the 17 of Matt Vassar. They're going to fall back in line, but Todd, not sure you're back with me or not. I think I heard you maybe come across there, but they're side by side for the race lead off of turn 2.
Yeah, side by side for the race lead is these guys trying to catch up, with these guys through the field, as I was a little bit behind trying to deal with store issues, still trying to deal with a little bit of my issues at I run a convenience store, so I'm trying to deal with those on the back end here. With the 31 of Derek Justice is your current race leader, the 20 of the 26 machine, I believe, Kevin McAdams, excuse me, down on the bottom side. He's trying to work over the bottom, trying to make that bottom groove work, but it does not seem to be working as Malello now moves up to second.
Malello to second. Matt Vassar now going to move his way back to third. So the inside lane, we know it's been fast tonight. We know it's been a lot of places these guys have made in their past, but through the last part of this race there, Joe, these guys have seemed to be committed to the outside of the racetrack. You would think at Chicago, the bottom lane would be the place you got to make the pass for the win, but I'm not quite so sure anymore.
Yeah, you know, we've seen the bottom lane be very, very treacherous on new and even old tires for these guys. You know, Justin Malillo just went down and made a pass, tried to slide up, almost a crossover move, and slammed the door on Derek Justice. Now we see Derek Justice move back down to the bottom. Don't think he's going to be able to clear Justin Malillo in the 53. They're going to be door by door down the front straightaway. Give it back to Justin Malillo in the 53 with the race lead. Matt Vassar all over Derek's bumper. So we got a tight race for the lead here, guys, but I think early on in the run, these guys are going to try to utilize the tires as best they can on the bottom to make passes and then gravitate themselves back up to the top line, which seems to be the preferred momentum line, and basically try to hold these guys off the best they can as we see Vassar go right around the 31 machine of Derek Justice for that second position. And, you know, we could see a little bit of tire conservation. We have about 30 laps to go and we took the green flag here. So if these guys run this thing out to the checkered flag from here, it's going to be about 30 laps on their tires, and that's right about a full fuel run. So tire conservation could come into play here by the time this thing comes down to a close.
Yeah, and I think the smartest move of the night here, I think you're watching with 26 of Kevin McAdams. You talk about conserving tires and having all that goodie left on a longer run here, Todd. You know Kevin McAdams, a master of saving tires. I think he may just be laying in the weeds. I'm starting to like that pick more and more of that 26 going to victory lane. Think he may be on the right call right now.
Yeah, and I hope I did not give him the black flag, or the black flag. The black cloud the black flag is another bad thing that you don't want to happen in racing, but the black cloud here didn't seem like any of us gave a black cloud besides Shieldhouse the other night. Looks like somebody down there on the apron there momentarily, but the 26 of Kevin McAdams still running right now behind the number 31 of Derek Justice. Justice running in that third spot. So interesting to see what he's doing right now, as it looks like he's sliding back through. Looks like he's under heavy fire from the 26 of Kevin McAdams. McAdams using the top to the bottom, trying to swing himself around the 31 of Derek Justice. Not going to be able to complete the pass for that third spot.
Not going to be able to do so there. The outside lane just looks to be the dominant line of the racetrack, which said, hats off to all the guys over here responsible for the racetrack here tonight. You know, the likes of Adam Codall, Kevin McAdams, of course, Justin Malello, David Schildhouse, the entire crew that makes up the FTF admin staff. Also, Brandon Lawson involved in that administration as well. These guys have done a phenomenal job with the Chicagoland Speedway tonight. Very raceable surface, almost too wide all around this place. And these guys putting on a whale of a race. But Justin Malello, he's out there with the lead. He's got a mirror full of Matt Vassar. That race for third keeps heating up there. McAdams, you know, tries to keep peaking on lower and lower down to the inside line on Derek Justice, but can't quite do so. But Todd, they're going to be side by side for the lead off of turn 2.
Yeah, going to see them side by side here. The 17 of Matt Vassar down to the bottom side as the number 17 of Matt Vassar on the bottom side. Justin Malolo on the top side of the speedway. He's got the preferred groove right now, does the 53 machine. As we come up to the complete lap 147 of 167. We're on lap 148. And about 20 laps to go here as we enter the 20 lap to go signal. So it's interesting to see these guys, how everything's all played out, the different contenders we've had all evening long, and who's saving tires. Maverick Morrow into the fray, the 57, you know he's changing tires. Jordan Buster still hanging around in the top 10. He's 6th in that number 8 machine. And then 7th right now is the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. 8th is Dave Schildhouse. 10th, you know, it's Colin Keister. Keister way down to the bottom side.
Yeah, way down to the bottom side, as you said. Well, we've highlighted the 8 of Jordan Buster a lot tonight. I just gave him the Attaboy Award. You know, you look all throughout the top 10, 9 out of those top 10 are guys that are racing for a championship right now. Jordan Buster is out here racing for good finishes and checkered flags and having a solid top 10 run, currently up there in 6th. I mean, I'm proud of the guy out there. That's an awesome-looking car, having a hell of a run out there, and currently rounding out in the 6th spot. But that race for third is heated up. McAdams back to the low side, Justice up high, and Maverick Morrow, he's just looking, where do I go? Top, bottom, maybe even middle, maybe almost 3 wide off of 2. Looks like give McAdams a spot, and looks like now Todd racing for the lead up toward turn 3.
Well, and as you say that, I want to keep continuing as third place. Is now Derek Justice down to the bottom side once again. Also, looks like Justice was holding up McAdams just a little bit. Vassar down on the bottom side, also up front. So there's all kinds of battling going on. You got Vassar on the bottom. You got Derek Justice on the bottom of that fray between himself and McAdams. 2 by 2 here through the top 4.
2 by 2 through the top 4, 151 laps up on the board, 167 laps. The main event distance here tonight, the Buffalo Wild Wings 250, race number 1 for the FTF Jones Cup. You know, chase for the Cup, the round of 16 sponsored by SMS Leagues, and these guys having a hell of a race here at the Chicagoland Speedway. The race up front is great between Malello and Matt Vassar. The race for third has been good between McAdams and Justice, and now Maverick Morrow right there in the fray as well. So it's anybody's race from here with less than 15 laps to go. It's going to come down to who's got the better tires and who has saved their stuff. And you look those guys racing for the lead, but don't look now there, Todd. Here comes the Doritos Chevrolet. It's going to be a 5-car race for the lead here through these last 10 laps. How exciting is this?
Yeah, it's real exciting. It's the 26 starting to close the gap really, really quick there on the 17 of Vassar and the 53 of Justin Malello. The 31 of Derek Justice right there, too. He's running on the top side. Can't count out Maverick Morrow. It could be a nice 5-car battle here momentarily. These guys all right up next to each other. So we're going to have to wait and see how this is all going to shake out here. As you got the 4th place car now jumping out of line. He's the first one to jump out of line. It's Derek Justice. He's trying to get back around Kevin McAdams. McAdams now going down to the bottom side. He's trying to get around Matt Vassar in that number 17 machine. Is he going to be able to do so? They're side by side coming down into 1.
Yeah, there is no sense saving anything now. If you've got it left, you got to bring it to the table. You got to throw it all out there side by side through turn number 2. McAdams to the low side, Matt Vassar to the high side. Justin Malello looking out the rearview mirror saying, go ahead, guys, keep mixing it up behind me. I'm going to try to enjoy all the clean air I can. It's literally a 5-car race for the race winners. They're going to put 155 on the board this time around. 12 laps to go. Derek Justice getting really, really loose in the outside lane there, Todd.
And he went way up to the top side of the speedway, and he's trying to get a run. McAdams goes up to block the 31. Looks like Matt Vassar now going all the way to the back. Vassar looks like he's going to drop back to the 5th spot. As Matt Vassar in the 17 was running second, drop kick him back to 5th. Derek Justin, meanwhile, goes back to war with that number 26 of Kevin McAdams, while McAdams is going to war with a 53 of Justin Malello.
And this is a battle all around the mile-and-a-half Chicagoland Speedway here tonight, Joliet, Illinois. This place is stacked to the gills. Great talent all the way around. Great driver list up top to bottom. And you're looking at some of the best that the NASCAR Racing Ground 3 community has to offer. Racing here for the win late in the going. 157 laps going up on the board next time around. And 3 or maybe even 4 distinct lines off a turn 4 car. Oh, Todd. 4 cars under a blanket down the front stretch.
As Justin Malello gets loose and gives the lead to the 26 of Kevin McAdams. It looks like maybe a little bit of air was took off the rear spoiler by the 31, but who am I to judge? Derek Justice now to that second spot. Derek Justice now moves into second. Now he's going to try to track down Kevin McAdams. McAdams, now your race leader. Is he going to run away and hide right off into the sunset here at Chicagoland Speedway? Or is one of these guys going to be able to track him down? He's been the fastest car all evening long. We'll just have to see what kind of charges that these guys have behind him. The number 31 of Derek Justice, he's right there. Don't count him out. He may have saved enough tires. Maverick Morrow's right there in the 57. Justin Malello dropped back to 4th. He's had a good run here, but it looks like his tire is starting to go away.
Yeah, they certainly do. But you look at those top 3. I mean, if you think of 3 guys in this community, notorious and probably the top of the shelf is guys who can save tires. I think you could put our buddy Blake McCandless up there too. But you think of the likes of Derek Justice, Maverick Morrow and Kevin McAdams. Those 3 guys just are some of the best at saving their stuff and coming to the end. And just wanted you know here with now a little less than 9 laps remaining, those guys up to the front of the field. But almost a little bit of contact there for 4th as Matt Vassar drove it deep through turns number 1 and 2 there, Todd. He washed up the racetrack a little bit, almost got into Justin Malello. Don't think Justin appreciated that too much as he gave that favor right back down the backstretch, and he's got that yellow machine down to the low side. Great race for 4th off of turn 4.
Yeah, meanwhile up front, McAdams doing everything he can to keep Derek Justice at bay. Justice door slams him, and around goes Kevin McAdams. Around and a knot, the number 26 door slam by the 31 of Derek Justice, and I'm not sure what else happened. There is flipping and rage throughout the whole thing going on there through the back of the pack. I know that's going to bring out a yellow, and I'm sure there's going to be some really, really angry people out there in this community.
Oh, aggressive goes around, as they would say, and it definitely did right there. Contact between, I believe, Derek Justice and Kevin McAdams, and just a wild ride there. Cars flipping, as you said. I believe Joe got the live look here, and guys just got pounded all over the racetrack. And looks like Jordan Buster, my that-a-boy for a night, got a piece of this wreck as well. As I think, Joe, you got a piece of that on the live screen, but go back and show this thing in slow motion. A wild ride here, and I'm sure there's not going to be some very happy race car drivers down there.
Yes, sir, guys. We ended up catching that live on screen when it happened, but we'll show the full velocity rewind here. Kevin McAdams with the lead. Looks like Derek Justice just gets a huge run off the corner. I'm not sure if Kevin got a little loose and was trying to gather it back up, but Derek Justice goes all the way down to the bottom here. Now, it's important to understand that just because he goes down there doesn't mean that Kevin McAdams has to necessarily let him back up. So as Derek tries to come back up onto the racing surface to give himself an angle to get back down into turn 3, that sends Kevin McAdams around after the contact down the front straightaway. Kevin slides that thing right back up into traffic, into the wall, hard nose first, right down into our buddy Jordan Buster. Unfortunately, we're going to slow that down just a little bit more here as he comes back up into the wall here. We'll slow it down just a little bit, right back down, just nowhere for that 8 machine of Jordan Buster to go, unfortunately. That sends Jordan right down into the 53 of Justin Malello. Hard ended Justin's night as well, doing so well out there, looking to secure himself a top 10 finish towards the end of this thing. Kevin McAdams, so we're still on him. He's in the catch fence. David Schildhouse right there. Colin Keister, Corey Carpenter, the 9 of Brandon Lawson, the 2 of Tom Sylvain. All of our championship contenders that made up the majority of the top 10 there, guys, were all right around that. There's a 71 of Chris Wetz, the 36 of Taylor Morgans. There goes the 08. Just guys all over the racetrack. Hard contact, tough break for arguably the dominant car of the evening, that being Kevin McAdams with heavy, heavy damage. I believe that's going to end his night early, or late, I should say, at possibly the worst possible time. And then unfortunate break for the 8 of Jordan Buster, having one of the best runs that he's probably had all season, and just a tough break for that number 8 machine as well. But guys, we're going to have probably close to 3 or 4 laps to go when we put this thing back green, so we're not done yet, guys. We got an exciting finish coming up. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Well, they say drama implications. How about championship implications here? Is, you know, tore up race cars, as Joe said. The majority of those guys all caught up are championship contenders. You're going to think those guys have some wicked, wicked damage now, and going to have some awful, ill-handling race cars. And there was less than 5 laps to go here, Todd. How much more drama can you want?
I wouldn't have wanted all that drama. I tell you, just looking at that championship and all the implications that were going on and things, and those heavily damaged cars, a lot of that stuff is hard to come back from. Having those guys having fights going on out there and fighting tooth and nail. I mean, they're fighting for the same real estate there, but that was kind of a questionable thing. Those guys up in the air, flying, and heavily damaged cars. A lot of innocent bystanders, championship cars involved in that, and it's a tough break. It's unfortunately Kevin McAdams now behind the wall, who retired from the event. They could not repair the damage, and unfortunately, my pick behind the wall, Kevin McAdams in 22nd.
22nd indeed. And I believe they're having a little bit of a elongated review here, trying to find out the cause for the, what may have brought this caution flag out. I think that the story told right there, but I was getting a little bit of two-way communication there from one Kevin McAdams, and guys, he'd like to come up here and give his take on the incident. So let's see if we can't talk to the driver of a 26. And I mean, this is FTF by all means, so let's see what these guys got to say out there. Is the top shelf group on the web here in the community. A late race caution flag, but 26 Doritos Chevrolet Kevin McAdams is destroyed. Kevin is full from full velocity, my friend. You get a copy.
Hey Phil, how you doing?
We're doing great up here, man. That car was fast, but looks like now that the night for that thing may be over, and that's just tough break, man. What the heck happened out there? That was some hard racing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was between Matt Vassar, Justin Milillo having good racing. I got to the bottom, got by Justin by really backing up the corner and getting a good shot off. And then earlier in the run, Derek blocked me down the front stretch, in which I showed him his displeasure, and then his brother decided to step in. So it was getting a little bit antsy in the chat and on the racetrack. And I saw that he was coming up and starting to get a good run on me on the high line, so I stole his line in 1 and 2. And then in 3 and 4, I did the same thing, and he got a really good run on me. And I figured he would either go high or low right there. I figured he wouldn't stay behind me. He went low and decided not to hold his line on the apron. Either he couldn't because he lacks the talent to, or he just decided that he wanted to clean me out. I don't know which, but obviously the car is destroyed. I feel bad for who was claimed in the accident because of my car spinning uncontrollably, but tough break for the guys.
Yeah, tough break for everybody out there. A lot of championship implications there. Well, Kevin, thanks for a couple of words there. No, we got only a few laps to go. We're going to get back to the action, but we got a lot of races left to go. 9 more weeks. I'm sure we'll do this again, my friend. Sorry to see you out before the checkered flag. You had a hell of a car tonight.
Have it going, guys. Call the end of this one.
All right, buddy. Todd Stanton, they're back under green. What's going on out there?
Well, I'm trying to keep up with these guys. It looks like Maverick Morrow, your current race leader. It looks like Vassar makes it. Here comes David Schildhouse. These guys are 3 wide. Colin Keister there. They're 4 wide. And here comes Colin Keister way down to the bottom side. It looks like that number 20 machine way up top, and it's David Schildhouse.
Yeah, David Schildhouse right there in the thick of it there on the high side. I know he had damage from that wreck, but he looks like he's still going to game race car coming to 2 to go. Great race for the lead. Maverick Morrow to the inside. Matt Vassar up high. David Schildhouse, Colin Keister, he is right there as well. It is anybody's race, Todd, down the backstretch, side by side for the lead.
Morrow gets a piece of the wall, and that number 57 machine. Here comes the number 17 of Matt Vassar, or Schildhouse, excuse me, or Vassar to the lead, with Schildhouse right there behind him. Those two are teammates. They're side by side. Oh, the 57, Colin Keister, and the 57 hard into the wall. Oh boy, what a mess there on the front straightaway.
It is the point of no return, guys. Inside of 2 laps to go. This race is going to race back to the checkered flag. Tough break for those guys, all tore up over there. But the field in the backstretch toward turn number 3. Matt Vassar in the bottom side. Teammate David Schildhouse on the top side. Side by side for the win off of turn 4. Todd, who's it going to be? Looks like David Schildhouse has the run. He'll win the Buffalo Wild Wings 250.
Wow. David Schildhouse going to pull off that win by .024. Matt Vassar going to finish in that second spot. Schildhouse third, or yes, Schildhouse. Tom Salvate in third. Fourth would be Brandon Lawson. Fifth, the number 30, Corey Carpenter. Look where it is. Taylor Morgan, 6th in the 36. Chris Wetz, 7th in the number 71. Matt Durr, 8th. Blake McCandless bringing it home in the 9th position. Look at Blake making his way all the way back up from that flip early on in the going. 9th for the number 74. 10th, the 67 of Schwartz.
A great run for Andrew Schwartz there. I mean, what more can you say? The action here at FTF tonight, we've seen a lot of great racing. We've seen a lot of, a little bit of bumper tag through those last 10 laps, a lot of destroyed race cars. And at the end of the day, the champ, David Schildhouse, I mean, we talked about he may have lucked his way in that last race last year to a championship. I mean, as Jonas said, Mr. Where the heck did he come from? And it's going to be a celebratory victory lane down there. I know David's going to have a lot to say as normal. He's probably going to rub the Broncos into Joe's face. So that is going to be one festive victory lane down there. But, Todd, we're going to see if we can't get our top 3 squared away here. David Schildhouse, Matt Vassar, and Tom Sylvain. It is completely unofficial. These races, as always, will go under review. But we're going to call this our unofficial top 3. But, Todd, give us a quick top 10. We'll see if we can get these guys figured out.
Oh, indeed, I gave a top 10, but David Schildhouse bringing home the win. Matt Vassar finishing second. Third would be the number 2 of Tom Salvain. Fourth is the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Fifth, the 30 of Corey Carpenter. Taylor Morgan, 6th. 7th, Chris Wentz in the number 71. Matt Durr brings home 8th. Blake McCandless, 9th. Schwartz in the 67, he finishes 10th. Kyle Riley, 11th. 12th, Adam Cordell. 13th, 54 of DJ Curtis. 14th, Justin Malello. 15th, Jordan Buster. Nora Carmichael finishing 16th. 17th is the 57 of Maverick Morrow. Ruth finishing up 18th. Colin Keister, 19th. The 20th position was the 24 of John Poole III. Derek Justice bringing home 21st. And the number 31, Kevin McAdams, 22nd out of this event. Ryan Naraki finishing 23rd. Rick Johnson finishing 24th. Jason Justice, 25th. 26th, Chris Barnes. Columbia finishing 27th. And then number 39, 28th is a 47 of Sonny Tallman, and Felipe in the 120 finishing up 29th here at Chicagoland Speedway. The Buffalo Wild Wings 250 here for the SMS League's round of 16.
Yeah, the round of 16, man. We got 2 more rounds of this to go. What an awesome race by these guys. This was an awful lot of fun. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be chatter in the race channels afterward. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of fighting out there. I mean, I don't know how much we're going to be able to cover post-race, but we're going to try to do the unofficial top 3 in the standings out there. I think Jonas gave a crew that the Kevin McAdams crew was down there at the 31 camp. Those guys may be at war for words. So going to be a lot of storylines to cover over these next couple of weeks. But I'm going to let Joe get the victory lane to talk to Schildhouse. I'm going to try to get down there and talk to Matt Vassar because I think we got a couple of different things we can talk about. But Todd, I'm going to throw it down to you. I believe you're going to have our 3rd place runner here tonight. Guy who hung around the top 10 all night, the top 5 and even saying he brings that thing home third on the podium. That's Tom Sylvain. So over to you, Todd.
Yeah, I'm down here with Tom Sylvain, driver of that number 2. Tom, man, that last few laps there, that was white knuckling it there. Tom, tell us how you got through all that.
Yeah, that was hectic. I mean, I just had to keep that thing low and let them wash up the track in front of me and let the wrecks take care of themselves. I mean, we weren't a top 3 car today. We were maybe just a top 10 car, but the luck was on our side tonight, and the bad luck was definitely on some of the other guys here, like some of my team.
No, finishing home third here tonight, Tom. You were quietly squeaking your way up through. You were in the top 10 here most of the evening, and sometimes outside that top 10, Tom. But to bring home a third place finish, a podium finish for that matter, like you said, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And tonight, luck was on your side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's I don't know I don't know what to say, but I'm just glad that I was able to avoid those wrecks, and just luckily avoid all that stuff and finish where I did. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going next weekend too. So it's a good start to the chase, and we'll take that.
Yeah, definitely a good start to the chase for you there, Tom, bringing home a third place finish. But I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank you. I'd like to thank out there in YouTube land or anybody that's going to watch the recording.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for the broadcast. Thanks FTF, all the drivers and admin crew. It's a great product. Always love it. Yes, thanks to my internet company because it was real stable tonight. I don't think I had any connection issues at all. So shout out to those guys. And that's about it. Yeah, all you viewers in YouTube land, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pretty good.
Yeah, definitely a good race here this evening. That's Tom Salvain driving the number 2, finishing up in that third position here this evening. But I'm going to throw it down to Phil down there with Matt Vassar, who finishes up second here this evening.
Yeah, I'm down here with the driver of the number 17, Matt Vassar. What a wild finish, Matt. What a second place finish. I mean, for a little bit there, it looked like you may have had the car to win, but I mean, FTF, anything can happen, and you guys just always put one hell of a race on, man. Tell us all about that closing laps.
It was fun. First, I want to thank everybody in the FTF staff, Justin, Brandon, David, I'm missing one other person here, Kevin, all the hard work they do to give us a place to race. I was good on the long run. If I could get by Justin, he was running me really hard, not to give me much room, and I didn't want to, take out a fellow chase competitor, so I kind of had to couldn't really force it like I did the 57 to get by him there when I did the slide job. But it was just close, hard racing there in the end. Off turn 4 to come and take the white flag. The 57 was he wanted to come down before the rest of us were ready to come down to the front straightaway, and we made contact. And it's he got a little bit sideways, and then stuff happened behind me, and who knows. And then the 20 car just took me to school through 3 and 4.
Well, I guess it's one of those times that he took you to school. I know many times over the years that 17 has taken on Mr. Schildhouse to school. Matt, as a guy who's won races and championships over the years, I mean, coming into this FTF chase here through these next 9 races, I mean, you got to be happy with a second place finish. But if this is any indication at all what we're going to see over here over the next 2.5 months, I mean, just give us a quick preview, if you could, as a guy who's a veteran of this league and whatever. What kind of things can we expect here? Can we expect more of the same like we saw here tonight with some really terrific racing?
The best thing I could say is expect the unexpected. I mean, you could have, like every league, you could have the Wreckfest races, and then you could have, we've had flag to flag, no caution races, and then you've had some, like tonight, late race caution, a battle to the end. I mean, FTF puts out the best, for everybody. I'm looking forward. I got 9 more races, and then I'm hanging up my sim racing because it interferes with my real racing. But this place here, this is one of the best leagues. So people watching and want to get in with a league, sign up next year and come race with these guys. It's unbelievable competition, everybody from top to bottom.
Yeah, top notch, no doubt about it. These guys are just the best of the best, and Matt Vassar is certainly one of those names as well. Anytime you come over here, you see his name, you got a guy to be reckoned with. But Matt, one more time, I want to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. Give a shout out to all your friends, your fans, your sponsors, or anything special you got there to say tonight.
Only thing I was going to say is if you guys take a second, have a moment of silence. One of my heroes growing up died Saturday in a plane crash, Teddy Christopher. Never got the chance to race against him, but watched him race many times in the modifieds on Friday nights at Stafford and Waterford and stuff like that. So tonight's finish between me and David, that was for him.
Absolutely, Matt. I was hoping you'd go there as well as a fellow Connecticut driver. We pay our respects to Teddy Christopher, 200-time winner at Stafford. Came 1 win shy of 100 at Thompson and 50-plus wins over the years at the Waterford Speed Bowl. So I completely echo those sentiments as well. But, Matt, good to talk to you once again. And if I know you at all, we're going to do this again over these next couple of weeks. So good job on that second-place finish. And if I have any recollection, I think we'll see the 17 at victory lane here these next couple of weeks. So thanks again and good job. And we'll talk to you again soon there, bud.
Thank you. Come see me at the real track.
Oh, that's right. We'll have to do that too. That's Matt Vassar, guy. He's going to finish up with the second spot tonight. So I guess that means there's one more place to go. We've talked a third, we've talked a second, and I guess the celebratory, motion down the victory lane there, Joe. I'm not sure you're ready for this party, but take it away.
You are very right, guys. I am down here with, excuse me, Mr. Where Did You Come From, David Schildhouse, riding around the back half of the top 10 for most of the evening, just biding his time. And what do you know? The closer comes up out of nowhere, steals a victory from his teammate Matt Vassar. David, I know you're gonna have an earful for me, not only from the race win, but because your Broncos beat mine and Phil's Cowboys this afternoon. Tell us about your night. Those last couple of laps were insane.
What a day to be me. I mean, my Broncos just absolutely embarrassed those sorry Cowgirls from Dallas. Send them packing back to wherever they come from. What a bunch of bums they are. You don't mess with the champs, and the Broncos may not be the defending champs, but they've done it pretty recently. So you don't mess with the champs. We put that message out there on the racetrack tonight. Now, for the racetrack itself, yeah, we had a little bit of luck. I'm not going to lie. Golden Horseshoe, as those like to say, was firmly planted where it belongs on my posterior, and we got a win out of this somehow. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. I didn't expect to be standing here in victory lane, especially after you black clouded me after our interview, and I wrecked the 30 there. So this was an unexpected result, but I'm thrilled. I'll take it. That's a win. That's a great way to start the chase, Joe. So thank you.
Absolutely, David. As a fellow guy that has come up here into the broadcast booth with us, you're always one of our favorite picks and always one of the more entertaining interviews. So tell me now, with your win in race number 1 of this round of 16, you've basically solidified your spot into the next round. What's your game plan moving forward here for the next 3 races? Are you going to go out there and try to steal some more wins? You're going to try to, conserve some equipment, maybe work with your teammates? What's the strategy moving forward from here?
The strategy is stage wins. We got to get more playoff points. We got to do things to increase our overall standing for what we're going to carry over into the round of 12. So much like our winner today in the Real Cup Series, the strategy for them, I think they said, was going to be going forward to get stage wins. And we're not going to be any different from them, because that's really what it's all about over the next 2 races. We don't have to worry about, not making it into the round of 12. So it's getting bonus points, everything we can take to carry us over and give us the biggest buffer when we start round 2 and catch up to the guys like Taylor Morgans and Derek and Kevin, who got a lot of regular season bonus points. So that's what we got to do. So if we have to gamble a little bit to put ourselves in a position to be a stage winner and forsake the race win, so be it. We don't need to worry about that. So that's the beauty and the comfort and luxury of getting a win here in the first race of the chase.
Well, absolutely, and as we said, through all the trials and tribulations and the drama and implications that we saw tonight, you came through. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and you stole a win from your teammate, secured yourself into that second round, which means, unfortunately, you won't be joining us into the broadcast booth for the second round, because you will still be fighting for a championship, my friend. But that's more than okay. We want to see you out there perform and succeed in your last full-time season in NR 2003 here at FTF. So, David, I'm going to give you the mic one more time, buddy. I know you're familiar with all of this. This isn't your first Victory Lane interview, so the floor is all yours, my friend. I know you got some people out there that you probably want to thank.
Well, first and foremost, my thanks to everyone here at FTF. Put on a great show. It was exciting. I can only imagine how exciting it was for you guys up in the Full Velocity booth, a place that I fancy being myself, and you guys got to see one hell of a show. The fans that were watching on YouTube and everyone out there, they got to watch that crazy ending, and I mean, what more could you ask for? So that's what sim racing's all about. When you get down into the playoffs, everyone's driving as hard as they can. This means the world to us, and so you get the best up front, racing hard. We had drama, we had implications. People got aggressive, and aggressive went around. And out of all the smoke and chaos came the 20 Amazon Ford Fusion for Fast House Racing as a winner. That's a big thumbs up for everybody. So big thanks to FTF, you guys at FVN. My teammates at Fast House Racing, we had a engine failure on the 16 for Jason Justice, unfortunately, but he'll bounce back, and we got to get those guys into the second round to join me. So that's where it all goes. But a big thanks to everyone out in Schildhouse Nation out there on Twitch. So you guys were awesome tonight. This win's for you. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, that's our winner, David Schildhouse, the champ, and they call him the champ for the reason, always finding ways to get himself into victory lane. And he has secured his spot for round 2 of the FTF playoffs here. He will continue to battle for a second straight FTF championship come Homestead. But Phil, Todd, drama and implications, aggressive win around. Drivers pit crews were at each other's throats. I'm sure the FTF press release is going to be quite interesting, and you can catch all of that action on the FTF Facebook page. But guys, exciting race. Throughout the whole thing, really, this is probably one of the better races that FTF has had all year, green flag-wise. I know they struggled a little bit earlier in the year, but to debut on FVN here, I think those guys should be very proud of the product that they put on. So from that's me down here in Victory Lane with the champ. Back up to you guys in the booth.
I'm sure there's going to be a party down there like no other, as Joe gets to hang out with the Jeff Gordon of sim racing. As he said, he's retiring, and Lord only knows, it may see him in a full-time capacity here, join the Three Amigos and be a part of the Full Velocity crew. We'll see what's going to happen here as we look forward. But what an awesome night here, Todd. If race number 1 of this chase is any indication, saddle up, partner, because these next 9 Sunday nights are just going to be epic.
Oh, epic ain't the word for it there, but I'm going to find that word sometime. But these guys put on a fantastic show over here at FTF. Round number 2 of the round of 16 is going to come up next week. We're going to have another guy probably lock themselves into the very next round of 12. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to lock them in. And like you said, drama implications, all kinds of things are going to go on next week. And short tracks are coming up real soon there, Phil. And that's our neck of the woods, and it's going to be interesting.
It certainly is, and we'll see round 2 of this FTF Jones Cup Chase for the Cup next Sunday at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. These guys will shift over to. That'll be a lot of fun. 8:30 p.m. start time. But the next up for us here on Full Velocity this coming Thursday night, this is going to be great here. Return trip to Hobo Racing, the Hobo Racing Wayland Modified Series, so my own stopping grounds, the Thompson Speedway, doing some open wheel modified racing at my home state and my home track, and the same town I call residence now. Cannot wait to go home here and see all the guys at Hobo for an awesome event, 125 laps around the legendary 5/8 mile Thompson Speedway. Thursday night, airtime, 9 p.m., and we hope you all tune in and be a part of the ultimate esport experience. So until next time, for Todd Stanton alongside, doing an awesome job tonight as always, Joe Allen, another flawless performance down there at the controls. I'm just so blessed to have the best crew in the business up here. Phil LeCass going to sign off for the night. This has been fun, guys, and we're going to do this again a couple nights from now with another great installment of Full Velocity Network TV right here, guys, and we'll see you next time. Good night, and thanks for watching.